You're listening to The Boxing Voice.
It's showtime! Welcome back, boxing fans.
Blood is good.
Entire face, a mask of blood.
Blood is emotion.
Too much blood coming out of the eye.
Blood is a story, a drama.
Deep gas, blood pouring right into his eye.
Blood is what we want to see in terms of passion.
Blood streaming now from the cut in the eye, the nose, his mouth, his cheeks swollen, and he's still tall.
What we want is a bloody good fight tonight.
We have Heather, the Heat Hardy. Is this you?
This is me. I think I need to talk to you every night because you make me smile and blush over here.
Never been a lame-o, never been a lame-o. Yeah, I love you, strip. I'm okay.
You're serious? You're serious?
And that's the good thing about UK. That's why I can't hate on them.
Did it cut out?
Said, yo, son, you're gonna get your ass beat by Molina, son.
Are you fucking kidding me? He's overrated.
Do some pushes for me right now.
For the interview?
Yes. Get your gifted hands go. Get out of here, Virgil. Go home.
What next?
You want the table started to be? You not even honest? You want the table started to be?
BoxingVoice.com.
This is why we use the word sensation.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another edition of the Boxing Voice. We're back. We're going to be talking some Rigondeaux over in Macau. But first,
fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona.
Boxing fans, here's Jameson.
What's up, fellas?
whoa, that was so anticlimactic.
You
What do you
want
want
the
me to
table
do?
started to be? He's not even honest. You want the table started to be?
Well, I wish I could give you a better intro than James, but there's really not much going on this week. I mean, there was not a lot of fights, or not a lot of big significant fights, I should say, but hey, man, there's news out there. A lot of stuff going on with the fights that we have in the future, especially next week, and a lot of Mayweather stuff we can talk about as well, so let's get into it, man.
Well, I guess you guys weren't excited to see, future Hall of Famer grace the ring the way that he did. And I might say that Unimas, their production quality was amazing. So Rigondeaux looked spectacular as far as...
Can I ask you a question? Now, that was televised, that fight? Because I couldn't find it.
Yes, it was on Unimas.
It was on Unimas, yeah. That's where I saw it. But it was like an HBO broadcast on Unimas, so...
Yes.
So we have...
I felt that way.
We have Unimas then on Comcast? I didn't know we had Unimas.
Yeah, we have that. I felt that way. I felt that it was HBO quality. It looked spectacular. I was shocked because I've watched Solo Boxeo last year when Golden Boy used to be in control of that. Mike Perez a couple of years ago came up on Solo Boxeo, so now it switched hands clearly, and Top Rank is in control. But oh my God, it was beautiful.
Can I ask you a question? Not to interrupt. Do you think that all of the criticism, or the fan criticism, or the HBO criticism, had an impact on how Rigondeaux fought in that fight? And do you think it was one of the reasons why he knocked the guy out in one round? Do you think he went out there with the intent to knock the guy, or do you just think that it was just the way it played out?
No, because what took place wasn't a first-round knockout. What took place was a Mayweather-Victor Ortiz on a much lower scale. Even the drama of it was worse because it was an accidental headbutt. They touched gloves, and Rigondeaux, with the speed of lightning, when he touched the gloves, boom, he threw two shots, and one on the way down that didn't connect. But the two, one was like a blinding jab, and the other one was like a hook, and it got inside, and the dude couldn't get up, and he was mad at himself for that. It is what it is. If Mayweather shit about it, they better not call in and
that's what I'm saying. A lot of people gave Mayweather shit about it, but I didn't hear anyone give Rigondeaux shit about it. So
Well, because I guess because it wasn't that version. It wasn't on a grand stage. This was a bullshit fight versus a bullshit dude that people are probably more excited that Rigondeaux now is done. That was his last fight. And I don't know if it's excitement as much as it is curiosity to see what happens, because he's capable of not going anywhere. He's capable of being stuck in no man's land. What if no one wants him?
Will Golden Boy take him, do you think? Or do you think they say to themselves, we already have enough fighters as it is, and we're going through our own little drama. Maybe we should...
No, I think Golden Boy will pick him up. I also think even Al Heyman. Like, I thought from the beginning that Al Heyman was going to try to swoop in and try to pick him up as soon as this is up. But I can honestly say that I'd rather him have just knocked him out, like, I guess, pure in the fight. But I wasn't stoked on the punch at all. I guess I didn't like it that much. I'd rather him not done it, but I'm okay with that. I'm not going to bitch and complain about it. It is protect yourself at all times, so that you can't complain about it. But it's funny you guys brought that up, because as soon as I saw that, I was like, this is exactly like Victor Ortiz and Mayweather. So
real quick, it had a splash of Wilder Scott, because the punch didn't look impressive either.
But real quick, and I'm going to ask both of you guys this and give me your opinions. Does this hurt or help Rigondeaux?
I think it helps. I think it helps, because I mean, I don't think it had. If anything, nothing would be worse than what he was already doing right now. So I mean, he iced him out in one round. So I think that does good.
Okay.
Well, you see,
it shows that he was aggressive. He was aggressive in this fight. He came at him.
So there was no controversy. No one really was up in arms about this. Did you guys hear of anyone protesting or anything like that, or was it just?
I mean, a couple of people tweeted me, so we'll see with the callers today. But I don't think this does anything. So he knocked out a guy he was supposed to knock out.
So it just keeps him where he was before the fight. Then he's just in the same place.
Well, the thing is this, Beeb. How do you market him any better than now? I mean, he's the ring champion, the WBA champion, and the WBO champion, and he has 14 fights with 9 knockouts now.
Yeah,
and
something like that.
People are saying that he's not exciting.
Well, you know what I think's going to have to happen? He's going to have to get into a war with somebody.
Yep.
And he's going to have to be put in a position where he's going to have to dig down deep and pull the fight out.
Well, he called out Lomachenko. He called him out. So all you Lomachenko fanboys, push the issue. He called him out like he called Donaire out. He knows who he can beat. He calls them out.
Well, I think he believes he can beat everybody. I don't think he's shy to fight anybody, in my opinion.
He would have took Mars out, had Mars sign on the dotted line himself. We're gonna try and tend to the phone lines quickly this week. Got a few complaints, but guys, you have to understand that we get massive amounts of phone calls. So.
I thought you did a great job with the switchboard last week, because everybody had a chance to really say their say.
Some didn't think so. Some did
not.
Well,
I will say this in your defense, because I've controlled that switchboard, and when that thing gets lit up, it's hard sometimes, because you don't want to start cutting people off when they're making good points, and then you don't want to be rude to the callers and stuff and give them 30 seconds. So it's tough. But I mean, I think you're making a correct decision on trying to get to them early. I think the earlier the better. That way the more of them can get on. So I'm going to quiet my mouth now for a while because I talk too much.
6, 7, 8. You're live on the Boxer Voice. Talk to us.
Yo, man, this is Wall Street Grind. What's going on, Ness?
Chilling, brother, chilling, man. Just here talking some boxing.
I hear you. Man, so I don't really have a whole lot to say on this one. What I am going to say is that, I feel like, Rigondeaux got in there, did his thing, did what he had to do. I mean, yeah, it looked a little bad coming off the head, but, I mean, look, man, this is business. And, he's, whatever you can do to make yourself a heel, right? Always translates into dollars, and it always has. So, I mean, nobody gave Mayweather too much slack over it. Rigondeaux better not get any slack over it. But yeah, man, he got out there, did what he had to do, and it was super quick. And that's what you got to do. So that's all I really got to say on that, man. I saw those interviews with Ellerby. Man, you really clown this dude, man, which is crazy. To be honest, man, this dude was looking crazy. He's talking a bunch of bullshit, man. I don't know why this guy's on payroll. But yeah, man, love what you guys are doing. Always happy to call in.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for calling in. 702, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this? 702, you're live.
Mama. Hello?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Rob Palmer, what's up, brother?
What's up? You know what fight I want to talk about, but just one little thing first. Props to you for the interviews with Ellaby, but did you hear Gay Montoya talking shit about you?
Oh, no. Jesus. Why?
Yeah,
what I do now?
You know the so I like those guys aren't too bad, but you know they have that Leave It in the Ring podcast where it's just him and the other guy and they just kind of shit on like boxing journalists for 2 hours.
Okay.
And they were kind of saying like what you did was amateur and stuff like that. I just thought that was kind of bullshit because I personally liked it. I think the way you do things is all good.
Well,
so
it's hard.
I think it was that Thursday show. Maybe check it out.
It's hard to please everyone. I am an amateur, so you know I will.
It sounded like a bit of hate, really, like a little bit of jealousy, to be honest. But
Well, Rob, let me jump in real quick. Until one of those guys is on ESPN, HBO, Showtime, or even Fox for that matter, guess what? They're fucking amateurs too. How's that?
Yeah, I don't know.
How's that? None of us are on a major network, okay? So until we are, then we're amateurs, and we know that we're not, above anyone else, and we know we're not bigger than what we are, but we have aspirations like everyone else, and we're not going to change our aspirations.
Yeah, I hear you. So you know what fight I want to talk about, right? Two top 10 heavyweights going at it this weekend coming up. Fury against Chisora. It's going to be a good one.
So, wait a minute, man. I'm clearly gonna have to visit this rankings page more. You're telling me Fury is top 10? I mean, not Fury.
Fury and Chisora top 10.
Chisora, really?
Chisora has to be. The division is so thin.
Heavyweight weak division. So
thank you. Yeah.
To be that great a fighter to be in there. You're talking about Brian Jennings being around number 11.
Yeah, but Derek Chisora, didn't he lose like his last 6 fights?
Yeah, we have Chisora over Wilder right now.
The other guys, so I think Chisora's pretty low in the top 10. I think it's a fair ranking for him to be there.
I mean,
we
know.
Have a look. They're on the app. Kids are on the app, so you can see it on there.
Our rankings, we have Tyson Fury at 5, and then we have Chisora at 8.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But the guys below him are no good. That's the reason.
Chisora shouldn't even be ranked after that Scott win. That wasn't even a fucking win.
But what about the rest of us? You got to give him props. Even if he loses, he steps up, fights the best, right?
Yeah, I mean, if anything, Rob.
If you match Chisora against everybody Wilder's faced, he'd be 31-0 with 31 knockouts.
Well, look, Rob, I mean, I'm not going to deny that this is going to be an exciting fight. I watched the first one a long time ago. I watched that, and I watched an overweight Chisora, give some problems to a young Tyson Fury. But I don't think this is the same Tyson Fury that faced Chisora a long time ago, nor do I think it's the same Chisora, but Chisora's a loser. He's a loser. Tyson Fury doesn't know how to lose.
I see Chisora coming out early, really putting some heat on him, and then kind of slowing down as he gets into the middle rounds, and then he'll eventually get stopped by Fury. Because I don't know if you've seen Chisora's recent fights, but he's kind of been rocked a couple of times, so maybe he's had one too many difficult fights, He's taken too many big shots, fighting the guys like Hay and Klitschko and those guys.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm excited for the fight. So, anything boxing, man, anything. I mean, I actually watched the fucking Gloria fight.
Yeah. But anyway, I'd love to hear the rest of the panel's predictions on that, and I'll let you guys get to the rest of the calls. Have a good show.
All right, brother. So, James and Beeb, what do you think? Chisora versus what's his name? Fury.
Tyson Fury. You know, I'm excited for that shit. That press conference was pretty crazy. Have you seen that with Tyson Fury going off cursing and shit?
Yeah.
I didn't.
I did.
You need to.
I don't know why, because I know he's fucking entertainment, because he always does something wacky.
He's good for the division. I fucking love that guy. He's my
So do
favorite
I.
heavyweight. He's my favorite heavyweight right now.
He's like a wrestling bad guy. It's almost like it's so bad that it's an act almost. It's got to be, but whatever.
You know why I love him
like
too? Because when he's in the ring, he doesn't give a fuck. He'll fucking line you up with the forearm and fucking, stick the elbow in your chin and shit under your neck, and he'll fucking line you up for a right hand. He doesn't care. He's gonna do whatever it takes to win. And there's a method to his madness, And I really love the way he could fight inside, even being as tall as he is and lanky as he is. He's a pretty decent inside fighter. I like the guy. A lot of people don't like him. I like the guy. And I love his conditioning. I mean, he'll chase a guy. He chased Cunningham, and Cunningham was the one that was getting tired, not him. I mean, he was chasing him around the ring. They were both moving a lot. And Cunningham was the one that was getting one up. Now, granted, obviously that frame being laid on you is going to wear you down, but you would think a guy 6'9", 250, 260 would get tired running around the ring chasing after a guy that weighs 210, but he didn't get tired, so I take my hat off to him for that.
Let's talk about HBO, Showtime, ESPN all failed to pick this fight up. None of them are airing it.
So dumb.
Yeah.
With the year that we're having, this would have been easy because the production's already in place. All you got to do is basically pay some money and pick up the fucking feed. This would have been perfect. I don't know.
Now, someone is picking it up because you would figure that Epix would pick it up, but they're out of the boxing business. That's bad
Really?
for fight fans. That's bad that a network dibbled and dabbled, and they took some risks, and we got to see some good fights out of it. We got Macklin Sturm and a couple of others that were okay, but they weren't good enough. Enough of us didn't watch. It was not very accessible, I will admit to that. I had trouble all the time. I will say that on a computer I never had an issue.
This would have been a good fight for ESPN to pick up if they wanted to continue their little heavyweight showcasing.
Yep. But thank goodness the AWE, formerly known as Wealth TV, that network is picking it up. And they do various fights from Europe. And Thursday they announced that they made a deal, which is going to offer this all-British war with Tyson Fury versus Derek Chisora. I know that Vic has that network. I don't think me and B have that. I've never heard of it.
No, you have to sign up for it. And they won't let you sign up for it because they're not accepting new subscribers. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I've been trying for months and I can never get it. It pisses me the fuck off.
Yeah, they're not allowing people to sign up.
Nope.
If you have it, you have it. You're grandfathered in. But if you try to sign up now, you won't be able to get it, and it's a shame. Because you know what's cool about it? You can get it on Roku. You have Roku, you can watch it on your television. It's not like a real channel per se, but it's a channel on Roku. And you could watch it. It's like a stream type thing. You can watch it on your computer, and you can use it. You can use your Roku to watch it on your television set. It's not a real channel. It's a streaming channel.
Well, look, any of my Apple TV guys out there, send me a tweet because I want to watch this fight live. I believe I got to watch the last one live, but yeah. So let me see if we're gonna take it back out to the streets. We stopped at 7:02. Ken, what's up, brother? Talk to me.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Chilling.
Yeah, real quick on the Rigondeaux fight. I do understand the comparisons to Mayweather Ortiz because the whole quick knockout thing with the ref there. I think it's a little different only because Victor Ortiz kind of could claim that he didn't know that action was called back on. The referee wasn't even looking. I forget the guy's name in the Mayweather fight, but he wasn't even looking in the direction of the two fighters. But with this fight last night, literally, the guy called in. It was very clear he called action back on. And, the guy touched gloves with Rigondeaux, so it was all fair game. What I think it is that Rigondeaux showed how fast he could fire off two very effective shots. And it probably hurt him more than it normally would have because he was coming off that headbutt. But, I think it was totally fair, non-controversial. And I think the guy might have been complaining because he felt it was stopped a little too fast. Or like you said, he was disappointed in himself. But I don't see the controversy. I just feel like Rigondeaux put him away real quick and did it like viciously. You know, it was just really good for him. I agree with you guys when you say that he probably needs to be in a war for his like stock to really rise. This has almost hurt him just by being so quick, you know. But you know, I give him props. He did what he needed to do. He put a punctuation on the end of his top-ranked contract, exclamation point, I mean. And I hope to see him again real soon. I hope someone signs him and they get to put him in some good fights like that Lomachenko fight. I didn't, you know, I'm not too hyped up about the heavyweight thing coming up, but I am curious. I didn't see it yet. I have it recorded. But did Kareem Mayfield lose again last night? Like, that's what I was, like, kind of surprised by. I was like, oh, really? And I know I called in last time, and I had already written this guy off in my mind because I was annoyed at all the trash talk he does in all his YouTube videos. So, you know, it's just kind of like, whoa, what happened with this guy? Back to back, you know, 1 minute he's talking about giving Bradley hell in the gym, giving, you know, Pacquiao hell in the gym, and now he's coming off back-to-back losses. I'm just wondering what's the deal with this dude? How did he look? Because I didn't see it, you know?
Well, I watched that fight. That was a good fight. Emmanuel Taylor just, he wanted it more. He dug deeper. Ken, do you have the radio playing in the background?
No, I'm calling from my computer. I'm using this Skype thing, so there's a little echo, right?
Yeah, but only when we talk, if we talk. So
okay. Yeah, I don't know how to stop that.
I'm gonna answer you muted, buddy. Sorry. So yeah, Emmanuel Taylor wanted it more. He just kept digging down. He kept coming forward. He was landing right hands, good left hooks, and he basically outworked Mayfield. And he just landed so many right hands too towards the end of the fight. He definitely wanted it more, and I like it because he lost to Algieri. And look, he just beat Mayfield, you know. And remember, he beat Victor Cayo. Does this mean that Algieri might be a little bit better than we thought? Because remember that Emmanuel Taylor also beat Raymond Serrano. You know, and Raymond Serrano was undefeated at the time. So, you know, say what you want, wherever Raymond Serrano may be at now in his career, but at that time, he didn't know what losing was, and Emmanuel Taylor handed him that loss. Victor Cayo was a guy that was always showing decline because every time he was on HBO, he lost to Maidana. He went to ESPN. He lost to didn't he fight Peterson? B?
Yeah, Peterson knocked him out.
Yep. You know, he's been losing, but Emmanuel Taylor also beat him, showing that maybe he's on that level. I'm not saying that he is. And now
Emmanuel Taylor gave Algieri a really good fight. I believe you mentioned that, but I just want to reiterate that and second that. Yeah, he gave him a good fight.
And now he beat Mayfield, who, remember, beat Herrera. Mayfield beat Herrera.
How did Mayfield beat Herrera? That's I look at that and I just, that boggles the mind. I think Herrera's. This sounds stupid since he lost to Mayfield, but I would think that Herrera is a more skilled fighter than Mayfield. I can't believe he lost it.
Well, I mean, that's another questionable fight. I'm pretty sure if you make that a topic, people will call in. I was live at that fight. I interviewed Herrera, and the video is there. Wow, it was a long time ago, and Herrera felt he won the fight. But you know, Mayfield did what he does. He did that smothering, you know, tactic that's basically bred over at Virgil Hunter's gym. And every time he had space, he would land occasional right hands on Herrera. But again, Emmanuel Taylor beat this guy. So that's interesting. That's interesting, you know, that we've seen a guy dig deep and get back at least on TV level, man. I love following them, these guys' careers. So let me see. 718, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Yo, Ness, what up, though?
QB, what it do?
Yeah, man, I'm chilling, man. I'm saying, got a couple of topics I want to talk about. First, that was an outstanding fight with Lou Shimai against De La Rosa. I like that fight. You watched it?
Oh, that was great, that fight.
I did watch it. You know, I thought that it was entertaining, but you know, Shu Shimon has all types of holes in his game. At this point, I'm not even going to be hating on this dude because what he's doing is still giving us extra boxing because HBO is using HBO too. So it is what it is. If I got to watch a Zhu Shimon fight to watch, you know, I don't know why they aired Gilberto Melendez instead of Rigondeaux, but whatever. I like that kid too, luckily, so it didn't bother me. But Zhu Shimon, he's a knockout waiting to happen.
Right, and another thing, like a slap in the face for Top Rank. Rigondeaux went out with a bang, knocked the dude out in the first round. I know old ass Bob Arum is sick right now. For real,
I don't think
they
that
didn't want to take they didn't want to take him though, man.
Yeah, but I don't think that he's even upset because he fought Zod. How do you even say this dude's name? King Chun Toy or something like that. They knew this was a knockout. They didn't care. Clearly, this was a parting of the tides. Like, goodbye. Get the fuck out of here. You know they don't want him.
And another thing, now getting off the topic about Rigondeaux, I want to bring up the Mayweather issue with the gloves again. Now, what is Mayweather trying to do? Is he trying to wait till the last minute like he did before with the glove situation, and then say he can't wear his gloves? And what the Nevada State Commission talking about? Is they gonna do they got any say so about the gloves or what?
He's probably going to wear the Power Lux again, the Everlast Power Lux. He's not going to let him use those MX gloves. So I think they're just talking about it to try to kind of make Mayweather look bad, kind of make Mayweather look like the guy who is afraid, who needs an advantage like that. I think it's all for the promotion. But at the end of the day, they're both going to he's going to wear the Power Lux gloves. That's what I feel.
Mayweather made it clear. He said that Maidana claims to have won, so he allegedly won with the gloves that he had on, so fight with the same gloves. So Mayweather's not changing his stance. He's not going to allow those gloves. And unless someone else steps in and supersedes that, which highly unlikely, it's going to be what he says.
So how could that happen? Like, if all the gloves is approved, he don't want no horse here, but he fought Cotto with the same gloves on.
Well, the thing is this. Sadly, this sport
the A side again, right?
No, it's not even that he's the A side. He's Floyd Mayweather. The show doesn't happen without him.
Right. But it'll be messed up if it'll be real messed up if Madonna and them say, I don't care, I ain't fighting you at the last minute, then he'll lose a lot of fans and respect. But Mayweather could dictate how he wanted to go on and on and on with his BS, how he changes his mind. After they drank Canelo, man, it's a bunch of bullshit with Mayweather, man. And don't get me wrong, I like Mayweather, man. I'm not hating on him. He just got a lot of bullshit with him, man.
Yeah, well, Maidana personally told QB.
So we good.
Well, all right, QB. Maidana personally told me that had he not got this rematch, he would have retired. That was not a joke. That he was dead serious with that. So, and I asked him about being paid that $1.5 million for the gloves, and he said he didn't get that money, but he said that very, weird. It was laughing. I have the fucking video, but the audio's shit, so I haven't been able to put it out. Unfortunately, it was a very good interview. Sorry, guys. That's the amateur in me. Let me
ask you this. Now, I heard that he got more than the 1.5 that was reported anyways, right out of the gate. So is that true? Do you know anything about that?
No, I don't.
So I heard people in a forum were talking about it, and they were saying, hey, you know what? He got more than that 1.5. So I don't know how true that is.
What's he getting in this one again?
I have no idea.
He didn't say that either, man, and I freaking asked him. But he said it didn't matter though. He said it didn't matter that the fight is more important than the money. So that if he would have made the same 1.5, it doesn't matter to him. Winning is more important. That was badass of him.
Yeah, that probably will happen.
Yeah. I mean, listen, let's be honest here. If somehow miraculously this man can fight those 12 rounds the way that he fought those first 5, he gets a win. I mean, he gassed out. And of course, Mayweather made changes and adjust like he always does. That's why he's Mayweather. He might as well be named fucking Houdini, the way that he gets out of shit and figures things out. But I don't know. Can he figure out that relentless style with that same stamina level? Now, you know, what fucks all that up is they already got rid of Ariza. So, you know, if you wanted to be fast and last long, you should do it with Ariza. But 443, you're live. Who's this?
What's up, Ness? The Slug, man.
Slug, what up, baby?
What's going on? I ain't heard from you in a minute. Well, I ain't been able to get on anyway in a while. What's the topic of the discussion, man? I've been my damn work schedule changed, so I ain't really been able to keep up.
We've been talking this week's fights, this weekend. Anything this weekend? You know, anything you want to talk about?
Oh, this past weekend? Well, shit, man. I just caught up with that damn Canelo fight. I'm a little far behind you fellas, but I watched that fight twice, man, and I still couldn't give it to Canelo, although I wasn't pleased with Lara's performance to say that, you know, that he was confident that he won hands down.
Well, look, I hate to be the guy to do it to you, but we've already given out 9 hours of Canelo Lara, and I just can't go back to that.
Yeah, I
shit.
know, man. I listened to all the podcasts, but I just wasn't able to join y'all, man. I listened to all of them, but yeah, just maybe some shit with Mayweather, man. This shit's still going on with him and fucking T.I. and Tiny, man. About you know, I guess something he said at the club and somebody put it out there. He said something else, so he put out on Instagram, I guess yesterday, that, you know, he didn't say what people saying that he said, and they got it all mixed up. So he had to come out and, you know, try to have retribution about that shit. I'm like, man, that shit wasn't no big fucking deal anyway. Cause he wasn't in the picture. It was his daughter and Tiny. So I'm like, you know, and Tiny was hanging out with one of his homegirls. So it wasn't like she was hanging out with Mayweather and taking pictures with Mayweather in the hot tub and all that other bullshit with Mayweather, man. I was like, you know, a lot of that bullshit, Mayweather needed to just, you know, lay back and concentrate on his boxing, man.
Well, I seen a video that was alleging that Mayweather said he slept with T.I.'s girl. But I ain't hear that shit. I'm not even gonna tell you who sourced it, because then they gonna say I'm kicking dirt on them and shit. You just gotta have to find it. It's out there. And if you hear it, fuck. Maybe you can.
No, I didn't hear it either, man. You know, it was a source. You know, a source was out there, and they put it out there that he did say it, but I didn't hear it myself. I never heard no video or.
No, there's a video. There's a video, Slug. There's a video.
I knew he was in the club talking crap about it, but I ain't paid too much attention, though. You know, I wasn't really too much interested in it, but yeah.
Well, don't worry about it. We all know that's not gonna dirty his image.
Can't no more than it already is, and plus, who gives a fuck? People like that dirty image any damn way. The dirtier your image, the more money you make these days.
Looks like it, man. He's the greatest bad guy there ever was.
I know. Exactly. Bad. But, who is this guy, Shaming's supposed to be fighting, and plus, Rigondeaux, man, this is supposed to be his last fight with Top Rank, right?
Well, both of those things happened already, Slug. Listen, you're going to have to get placed on mute. You're going to have to listen up, catch up. We're going to get to some other callers. You're very far behind. 212, you're live. Who's this?
Yo, what up, man? This is Danny from Harlem.
Harlem, what up, baby?
Yo, what's the possibility of Santa Cruz fighting Rigo now that Rigo had his last fight with Top Rank, and Santa Cruz was supposed to be Mayweather's what is it, the main card before his?
The undercard? Yeah, he'd be on the undercard.
Undercard, yeah. What's the possibility of that fight being made?
Well, it all
I like
depends
that.
on Al Heyman. Al Heyman knows that Rigondeaux's out of his contract. If he's gonna go swoop him, or I mean, Espinoza already made it clear that he has no problem airing Rigondeaux. Those quotes are out there. Find them if you like. So maybe that's something that can happen, Danny. But you know, right now we're getting a shit year from Showtime, so I don't know if asking for something that good to happen will happen, because you know Rigondeaux fighting
Hopefully it fucking
Lomachenko,
happens.
Rigondeaux fighting Lomachenko, Santa Cruz, Kiko Martinez, Carl Frampton, Scott Quigg, and Abner Mares is all great for us, and I don't think they'll make any of those.
But Santa Cruz being like the main card of it, who would he fight though? Like, what was an ideal opponent? Let's say Rigo doesn't get picked for that fight.
Carl Frampton.
Yeah, but I
You
don't
think
know.
so?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it is the biggest, night of boxing, right? Whenever Mayweather fights, all eyes are watching. So maybe Eddie Hearns will let Frampton do that, but I don't know.
Oh, but Frampton's tied up with Martinez, so never mind. He won't be available for then.
Yeah.
And another fight that's good that I wanted to talk about was there was talks about Bartholomew Rances fighting Michael Sarinas. How you think that fight plays out?
Oh, Michael Farinas from the Farinas that fought Gamboa and just beat this undefeated Mike Kid.
That good ass fight that he had too.
I don't mind it because we know Farinas has a punch, but we also know he could be beat. So I mean, it is what it depends. It depends what TV it's on, really. I mean, I don't have a problem with any fight. So, but I guess it depends what TV slot is gonna take up.
And I got one last question before I go out. I wanted to ask you this random question: do you think Gabriel Rosado is underrated?
Well, dude, you about to find out. He's about to have some sort of fucking
some bullshit. I know that BKB. Like I don't know why HBO or Showtime picked up that fight because those are two known opponents. I'm saying why they don't pick it up. I don't understand why they did
because it's some MMA type of shit.
Nah, it's like some ring. It's like a circle and shit. The gloves are like 8 ounces or some shit. They're supposed to fuck each other. It's corny.
Why? How did this even come up? Do we know who offered who this fight? This is crazy.
They were supposed to be on the same card on that show, and then Gabriel Rosado actually asked for that, so they made it a pay-per-view. It's supposed to be like August 16 or some shit like that.
The story was broke by, I believe, Chico from True Boxing Heads, but if not Chico, definitely True Boxing Heads. Danny, I'm gonna get to some other callers, brother. Thanks for calling in.
All right.
Yeah. So if you want to find out more on how that fight got made, definitely go to True Boxing Heads. I don't know if there's a .com on that, but Google them. That'll work. Good guys over there in Texas. James, man. So the WBC, these characters, man. Listen, and I really feel like Mauricio Suleiman is doing a kind of a proactive job right now. I haven't had really any problems with anything that has been done after the passing of Suleiman, but it started with that Broner thing, and it's again with the Broner thing because now they're lifting their suspension for the words that he said already, which the world was cool with back in when he was fighting on HBO. Then he says it on Showtime, and it's like the most racist thing. I don't really understand that. So but they decided to lift their suspension. Isn't this awesome?
2.5 months after him getting it, though, it was like a 3-month suspension. I have no idea why this would even happen.
Tell me about it. But I don't know. We kind of touched on this last week, but still no done deal for this Stevens versus Ndam fight.
That's not done? I thought that was done. That's not done?
It was thrown a purse bid, throws a curveball. It looks like negotiations aren't set yet. There were no other bidders, and it says here that King has 90 days to put on the fight. The winner of the fight, which has good potential to be action-packed, will become the mandatory challenger for the newly crowned Sam Solomon, who beat Sturm. It was a 80,000. Damn, that sucks. Sucks. Kathy Duva lost this by like what's that? $18,000. She bid. Man, they bid so low. It was only 80,000 was the winning bid, and you know that 60% of that money goes to Stevens, with the 40% going to Ndam because his promoter King Sports World surprisingly outbid Main Events. So I guess there's going to be a fight, but a purse bid had to happen. They couldn't come to an agreement. Such a good fight at the end of the day. I think this is definitely a fight that's going to be, you know, action packed.
Yeah, especially because it's, I mean, the winner of this fight gets Sam Solomon, but I just kind of hope that I wanted Curtis Stevens to win this fight when I heard about it and try to get his way over and try to fight Kid Chocolate. I think that'd be a great fight too. But this fight's gonna be good. I'm enjoying it, but like, it's gonna be on NBC. It's gotta be, right?
Yeah, it's on NBC Sports Network.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a good fight. I mean, it's not. I don't think either one of them world beaters, but I don't know, man. I think it's a good fight. It's about the same. I don't know. And damn, without those like 6 knockdowns that he got against Kid Chocolate, I mean, he was in that fight, so.
And the thing is this though, after watching Seriano put all that pressure on Stevens,
yeah,
does he even win this fight? I mean, because he faded, and he got a lucky ass knockout. Let's be real, like, you know, last round, Kid put in all that work. Another referee probably would have gave Terriano a standing 8. Gave him the opportunity to continue. I mean, how many seconds was left on the clock?
Yeah, I remember. It was like a minute, I thought.
A minute? Really? Shit, that's a lot of time.
In the last round? I don't know, but I'm picking Stevens right now. I think he's gonna do it, but
already, huh?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think Ndam has the pressure like fucking Toriano had, and then he's gonna be able to overpower him and just kind of keep him off him the entire fight. But that's why, because when I heard this, like I said, I want to see him go over to Kid Chocolate because I don't want to see him ever get Golovkin again, and I guess I don't want to see Cotto fight him either. So.
Yo, HBO is.
I would hate that though. What's up?
Yo, HBO is using that picture of Stevens to promote Golovkin every chance they get. Have you seen that?
With the woo face?
Yeah. Horrible. Yo, funny thing is, we were talking Sam Solomon, and guess who calls in?
How you going, guys?
What's going on, brother?
Just kicking it. Hey, obviously you heard that Martinez is looking for another fight soon, and he's saying it's going to be a ranked opponent. I'd half thought Solomon might be a bit of a candidate there because he's not the most dangerous person, and I know he was already trying to get that fight. So do you think that could happen?
You know, and I don't mind that fight. I think it could happen, and I don't mind that fight, to be honest with you. If he's going to continue fighting, I don't think it's like a danger like Cotto was. Or what he thought.
I'm pretty sure that they already mentioned the name, didn't they?
Who?
Sam, what's his name? Samson Lewikowicz. Because I read a press release on that whole incident.
Oh, shit.
Really?
Yeah.
All I heard was that they wanted to get him back.
Not that they named Solomon. I think they already have a comeback opponent for him, though.
Oh, well,
okay,
shit.
yeah, I realized that. I just heard they were looking for someone and they wanted like a ranked fighter, and that he was looking to come back soon. I didn't hear a name. Oh, anyway.
But yeah, he did say that he felt 100%. But then again, he told us that before the fucking Cotto fight too.
It'll be interesting to see. I mean, Cotto will start getting a lot more respect if he comes out and looks good against like a genuine middleweight. I mean, not that Sam Solomon's the best guy out there, obviously, but I mean, if he could come out against a ranked middleweight and look good again, it might. Maybe he was just buzzed, you know what I mean, didn't recover. So he's standing pretty solid by the fact that his knees weren't hurt.
Do you think he's ready for Sam Solomon right now? I mean, after watching that Cotto fight, I think that's probably too far of a step up. I hate to say it.
I personally don't really rate Sam Solomon, but
well, I watched what he did to Sturm.
It's hard to watch.
I watched what he did to Sturm. I watched what he did to Sturm, and if he could come in with that same intensity to the same Martinez, let's assume he comes into the versus the same Martinez that Cotto fought. Shit.
Well, I think it was the
Martinez
power.
I think it was
the power, and Solomon doesn't have that power. So I will have to see. I don't know.
Well, I'm not saying that Solomon will win. I'm saying Martinez will have a hard night.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be very telling when he does come back. I mean, if he doesn't look that bad, it kind of really legitimizes Cotto's win, and so I don't know. There's a lot of question marks around that win. But I'm not convinced that it was the knees, but I'm not convinced it wasn't. So
I don't think Martinez ever comes back to the full Martinez or even half of what we saw even in the Murray fight. I just think that dude's done. I think he's going to get every fight out from here on out until the end of his career, whether it's 1-3. It's going to be hard fights every time, man. I just think that dude's shot, man. His knees are done for sure.
Yeah, most likely.
James.
Yeah, well, we didn't even get the
like the fucking Grim Reaper tonight.
Weekend's card.
Yo,
yeah.
I'm bringing the negative news. That's what I needed to do, man. My knee's hurting, so I'm gonna fucking push it off on Martinez too, man.
So what's up, Jim?
We didn't get the card here in Australia on the weekend. I didn't get to see any of it, but obviously, what do you guys think about Rigo's knockout?
No. Wait a minute, Jim. You get no excuse for that. Every hardcore fan finds a way to watch it. By now, it's on YouTube. God's sakes, the fight's like 3 minutes long.
Oh yeah. I've seen the Rigo. I've seen that. I haven't seen the whole card.
Okay.
I'm talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
what did you guys think about it?
I liked him, but then again, I guess I'm biased because I've always liked him. I mean, he was, bar the fucking intangibles, he knocked the guy out in the first round, right?
Yeah, and I like that. I like the Valoria fight. The Valoria fight was pretty entertaining.
Some people are whinging and saying it was a dirty tactic or something, but I thought, I mean, it was within the rules, so I don't have a problem with it. I think he's come out. I mean, people are saying he's boring and whatnot. He's come out and got a first round knockout. So.
Well, the thing is this. I mean, the guy gets damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. Like
exactly.
I support it.
Again, I love my Cuban boxers, and they're always getting shit on.
I use the Mayweather as a comparison. I'm not saying this is Mayweather Ortiz. It's got shades of it, and
Yeah, 100%.
He took an opportunity, and he capitalized on it.
I don't think he needed to take that opportunity at that moment, man. He would have done that earlier in that round or earlier in the next round. That dude was waiting to get fucking blasted out by that guy. So that's why I didn't like it that much, man. I personally, I would rather him not have done it, man. I think it was stupid. I get it. Yo, I'm cool with the protect yourself at all times. I'm not going to call him a cheater or anything like that. But if you're going to ask me did I like that? No, I don't like it because I think it was cheap. That's it. It's cheap.
Bro, you know what I tell guys like you and everybody that backs that? Tell someone to fight him and beat him. Tell someone to fight him and beat him.
Yo, I don't think anyone in that division beats him, including if Lomachenko or whatever comes down to fight him. No one beats him.
Well, would Lomo come down or would he go up to 126? Has that been spoken about?
Jim, that's not even the question. The elephant in the room is why aren't the fucking hardcores demanding for this fight? They demand for every other fucking match that we want. I mean, why is this one going as the fucking Casper the Friendly Ghost in the room right now? Why aren't people calling in saying...
Because Rigondeaux's got that Cuban stigma. Rigondeaux got that Cuban stigma. No one wants to watch him. He's boring, quote-unquote, boring. All the Cubans are boring.
can't be born with 9 knockouts out of 14 fights.
I like him, man, but I like that style. I like that slick style.
Yeah, look, I think the reason, I mean, I really want that fight. The reason I'm not pushing hard for it right now is because I want Loma to have a few more fights, a few 12-rounders against some solid guys before he goes in against Rigo. That's why.
Yeah, he's not ready for Rigo right now.
There were still things.
You want to give him a safety net. No, Jim. You want to do, because everybody calls me on my shit. You want to do the same thing I wanted Danny to do. Take some soft touches on his way up to 147. You want Lomachenko to get a little more experience before he faces the true god in that division. That's what it is. Keep it real.
Well, they're in different divisions. No, I want him to fight, have a few solid fights. He's had 2 12-round fights. Like,
you
say he lost the first one, and then there were still moments. Like, Gary Russell isn't proven. You know what I mean? He'd only fought fucking nobodies.
Well,
and,
you guys
he
are
had no
claiming
trouble in
him
that
king.
fight, but there are things he didn't do. There are still holes in Loma's game, and I'm a Lomachenko fan, but there's still little things that he needs to work on. He's had 2 professional fights. I just think, like, I'm not saying let him have fucking 30 fights. I mean, maybe like 2 or 3 more fights, and if he looks good against top guys and really starts to become more well-rounded as a professional, then I'm absolutely fucking screaming for that fight. I want that fight, man. I'm not jumping at the gate to have it as his next fight, is all it is. I'm jumping at the gate to see Rigo in against anyone, because I think he's up there with my favorite boxer. I fucking love him, and I love the backstory with what all these Cubans go through. Like, I'm really passionate about it. I'm passionate about Cuba, the whole narrative behind the whole thing, and I absolutely fucking hate that these idiots who kind of are damaging our sport, and it's all mainly fan-driven, idiots who don't even understand the sport, and then you've got a guy who's sacrificed all of this stuff, gone through everything to come over here, comes to America, and then the guy can't even get put on fucking TV. Like, it's complete bullshit. But that doesn't mean that I think the Lomachenko fight should happen next. You know, I think you're taking me the wrong way there.
Plus, there's also plenty of good fighters in his division right now that he could fight. He doesn't necessarily need to go up. He goes on the other side, like I said. Fucking Santa Cruz is sitting there waiting for him. That's a great fight.
What happened to the days, huh? What happened to the days when people were calling Lomachenko a fucking god and saying he was going to destroy Salido? Now he beat Russell. He's a champ. We all want the fight. Make it fucking happen. He has the power. He has the power. He had the fucking power to get 2 title shots. I've never seen that shit done in all my years of watching this sport. That shit.
I just think it can be a better
negotiated.
fight. If it can be a better fight, like a small time down the track.
You want it to marinate.
I wouldn't be opposed to it. If it happened, if they signed the contract tomorrow, I'd still be fucking over the moon. I'd be happy about it. Obviously, I'd be picking Rigo, but I just think that it can be a bigger deal in a short period of time. I think you kind of, I don't know, you're just looking for an argument to try and argue otherwise, Ness.
Yo, and also, I don't think HBO's already said they don't want Rigondeaux on the air anymore.
Listen, you wanted to marinate. You're taking the Bob Arum approach. It's cool, brother. I mean, look, I'm not looking to argue. You say tomato, I say tomato. You want him to get experience? I'm saying you think he's not ready. I mean, whatever. We're on opposite sides of the track here.
Yo, and I doubt that HBO signs off on that shit because I guarantee you they're afraid that Rigo would fucking donaire Lomachenko.
Hell yeah, they'd be fucking shaking in their
100%.
boots.
Yeah, they're obviously banking a lot on Lomachenko, so they're not going to let that fight happen yet because Lomachenko will lose that fight. That's why.
Well, Jim.
But hey, I wanted to ask you guys too.
Oh.
Can I ask you one more thing? Sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
I haven't seen the fight with Taylor and Delorme yet. Sorry, not Taylor and Delorme. Taylor and Mayfield. How did that fight go? Because I mean, a lot of people are pissing and moaning about Algieri and Pacquiao after he just beat Provodnikov, and I kind of think I don't hate that fight. I mean, there's no one really in the HBO type fighters for Pacquiao to fight, and Marquez obviously hasn't come to the table. But I think that Algieri, because Pacquiao's fought bigger guys before, but it'll be interesting to see how he goes against a bigger guy who can use his length and create distance and stuff. So I don't hate that fight. But do you think that with Taylor's win over Mayfield, it kind of makes Algieri look a little bit better?
I don't know, Jim, but the listeners of the show are going to feel that you're like Robbie and you heard me say that and you're agreeing with me because, you can't make sense
when did you
on
say
your
that?
own.
Sorry, I literally I didn't even hear. I didn't miss the start of the show. So.
Yeah, well, I am questioning that myself. Does Taylor's win over Mayfield, which was impressive in my eyes, kind of rank Algieri just a little bit better than what we thought? Whether it does or not, to me, really doesn't matter because I think that this Pacquiao-Algieri fight is a good fight. It's a style Pacquiao hasn't faced yet. I can't.
Yeah, I agree.
I can't remember a fighter that fought like Algieri that Pacquiao fought. So I want to see it. I want to see. Listen, even if it's just to see how long it takes Pacquiao, but hey, stranger things have happened in the ring.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad fight. It's not a huge name, but I mean, that's not what we really look for when you're a boxing fan. So I don't know. I think it's an interesting mesh of styles. But I'll let you guys go. Didn't have to,
All right.
James.
Later, man. Yo, is that Pacquiao fight can be at 140 or a catch weight?
Catch weight. You know that. It's Manny catch weight. You know that. Manny catch weight Pacquiao.
But I thought going down he'd probably do whatever.
But let me be fair and say, yeah, Mayweather does catch weights too. So please, no hate mail. 636, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Yo, what's going on? That's just Anthony, man. How you doing, bro?
Chilling, brother. What up, Taino?
Man, let's get straight to it. Rigondeaux, I call him Super Guillermo. He looked it fantastic. Just I'm talking about the poise from the beginning round. He looked it really, really just, ready to prove to people. He stood there. He didn't, do the, as people call the Cuban style. He wasn't using a whole lot of lateral movement. He was waiting on the guy to make a mistake, and he made him pay. In that boxing, right? You make a mistake, and you make him pay, and that's what he did. No matter what opportunity. If the referee says, hey, go ahead, fight, that's what he did. No matter if you're looking down, twiddling your fucking toes together or whatever the fuck you're doing, that's on you that you got knocked the fuck out. He should have been looking up. He had 5 fights. You're a veteran and you're looking down after the ref said, fight? That's on you. It's not like this guy has Lomachenko type of pro fights, like, 3 or 4 or whatever, 2. But I don't know people making excuses because he's Cuban and they don't like that it's Guillermo. Whatever. Fuck them. They can go eat shit. So, like I said, on to the next. I want to see Guillermo face Lomachenko just like everybody else or whoever, but it's all about these promoters. They know it's a horrible style for, Guillermo to face any of them. Like, they don't want that stigma behind their fight. They, you know what I'm saying? They know their fight is going to get embarrassed. They're going to get their ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? And the stock will go down or whatever boxing. Me being a hardcore boxing fan, just like you guys, I want to see the best fights made possible no matter who gets made to look bad, It is what it is, though. And on to the next with the Chris Algieri and Manny Pacquiao deal. I actually think it's a great fight. A lot of people think it's a bad style matchup. I don't. We get to see somebody whose name's never fought before. I'm talking about, like, just different. He's different not just because of race. Fuck that. I'm talking about skills. He's tall. He's long, like long arms. He uses great lateral movement, People don't give him enough credit. And he has a very good jab. I actually think that it's going to be a very entertaining fight. Chris Algieri throws a lot of punches. He has a lot of pride. He's very confident. Manny Pacquiao the same way. He has a lot of pride. He's very confident, and he throws punches and bunches. And I believe we're going to get the best out of both that night. I really think it's going to be a great fight. I don't know. That's just what you guys think about that fight?
Well, I want anything with either of those guys, so I'm all for it, James.
Yeah, man, I'm not. I don't know. I wasn't too stoked at first, but I mean, I come to the realization that if I was okay with Provodnikov getting a fight with Manny Pacquiao down the road, I'd have to be okay with this because he beat Provodnikov. So, I mean, I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be that like amazing of a fight because I think it's just gonna be the style contrast. I think it's gonna be kind of like what I guess we got in the first Bradley Pacquiao fight, but I'm okay with it. There's nothing else better out there. I'd definitely rather that than. No, I guess I'd rather Marquez. I still want the Marquez 5, man. I guess I'm the only one, but I still want that.
Well, 636, thanks for calling in, man. I'll tell you that I'm excited. It's something new, man. I don't mind new things. And I don't really think it's like a total mismatch. I think that the movement, the jab, all that is going to cause some problems, and it's good. It'll give Pacquiao a new style, man. It'll give him something to look at. You know, we'll see. We'll see how good he still is, right? Why not? James, we were talking bantamweights and super bantamweights, right? So it's looking like Komet, he scored that knockout, that one punch body shot knockout, and guess who picked him up?
Al Heyman.
Al Heyman. Al Heyman signed Japan's Kometa. So we're likely to see him more regularly fighting here in the United States. And not only that, but he has to face his mandatory challenger and interim title holder, Alejandro Hernandez, and the WBO made an order on Tuesday. The sides have 30 days to make a deal for a purse bid with the minimum bid starting at $100,000. So we are likely to see him on Showtime. And for whatever reason, Arthur Abraham is fighting again. Are you excited? He's going to be fighting Paul Smith.
No, I'm not that excited about that. I'm okay with the Kometa thing, though. I just hope he kind of... There's not that many people in his weight division right now. Randy Caballero is, I think, one of the ones that is eventually going to kind of rise to the top up there. But then you got Moreno up there, too. But it's really a division above him, man. So he needs to pack on some weight, get up there. Because, I've been hearing about these brothers for so long. I just want to see him kind of get in the thick of things and start actually doing some shit on US TV. Someone like Norton needs to call in because he's good with those fighters in Japan. So he can explain this more and see, I guess, what kind of impact this has in these divisions.
Yeah. So what did you think of Trout getting like that little, promo video? Was that on ESPN during the fights?
Well, it's because he's going to be the last fight, right? The season finale or something like that for the ESPN Friday Night Fights.
Yeah, I know. I think he's going to be fighting that guy Dawson from Australia.
From Australia, yeah.
But my thing is, like, what did you take out of it? It's a guy that's back on ESPN, after fighting the Cottos and Canelos of the world.
I think it's okay, man. There's only so much we can put on our airs and stuff like that, and I'd rather be on ESPN because I think Austin Trout still has the personality, you know what I mean? They kind of have that push or something like that to kind of drive a lot of fans to watch. So I don't know, I'm okay with it. I'd rather that be on ESPN than on my Showtime and give up something maybe in the future that we can have. But Showtime's been shit anyway, so I don't know what I'm talking about, man. Maybe Austin Trout should go to Showtime.
Well, I'm not even mad.
I like him though.
I was asking more from like an emotional, I guess mental standpoint for him.
For like a downgrade?
Yeah, well, how the mighty have fallen, no?
Yeah, I guess. I'm sure the purse is falling with it too, so I'm sure that hurt a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure. Cottos and Canelos of the world, guys. Let's be realistic here. 647, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
What's up, man? It's T from Toronto. How y'all doing, man?
See, what up, brother? These are always good calls when T calls in.
I just want to touch base really with the Rigondeaux. I know we're talking about Lomachenko a little bit, but I know Santa Cruz got a fight coming up in September. But after that fight, what do y'all think about that matchup and how that would pan out? Because Santa Cruz got a little buzz, does have the WBC. You know what I mean? Like, what do you think it'd take to get them two in the ring?
James, I'll go first. I'll say it again. Rigondeaux versus Lomachenko, Santa Cruz, Quigg, Frampton. Who else is out there? Oh, Kiko Martinez.
Kiko Martinez. I think Martinez and Frampton fighting, though, ain't they?
I don't know.
Yeah, they are. No, they are.
Any of those I'll take. Any of them.
Right. Only thing that scares me with the Lomachenko fight is that they both got this huge amateur background. And he already got that knock against him that he's barring and that he kind of moves around and pivots, which is excellent boxing. Purists like yourselves would enjoy it. But you put two guys with that many amateur fights and that pedigree in there, it's going to become a straight boxing match. Like, I don't think a fight's going to break out.
I don't know, because Lomachenko strikes me as the type to make a fight. He brought the fight to Gary Russell. He didn't stay on the outside.
True.
And it seems like he's adjusted more to the pro game than Rigo has. But Rigo also has power too, so I think they would exchange a lot more too. And they both are very prideful people.
We also have to remember one thing. Lomachenko is a way bigger guy.
Yep.
He hydrates above that division. Rigondeaux does not. He would be a fool to move up. I'm saying that right off bat. He weighed 121 for this fight. He'd be a fool if he moved up. Make that clear. He would be outweighed, probably outgunned. But when you're not what network television wants, you're forced to jump up in weight this way.
Exactly. But then again, that would make it that add to the allure of the fight, right? Smaller guy going up against a bigger dude.
Well,
I don't know. And then secondly,
I only could hope that would be enough for HBO to be convinced that Rigondeaux would lose, so they can buy this fight so that we can watch it and let the best man win.
Word up. And then this Pacquiao-Algieri thing, it's intriguing to me also. And I tell you why. Pacquiao don't really fight guys that box on the outside too much. More come forward guys. Guys like to go with the body, big left hook, heavy catch. And the last time they had a chance to do that was with Zaire Rahim, if I can remember. And they strayed away from that fight after he cooked Morales' ass. So I don't know if they're going to make this Algieri fight, knowing they got a tall, lanky guy that can move around and might irritate Pacquiao a little bit.
No, my friend, you're mistaken. This fight is made, signed, sealed, and delivered. You're getting this.
Oh, they signed it up. They signed it already?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's dope. Well, I'm excited, man. I mean, he doesn't have a big name, but you might give him some trouble.
What are the odds right now? Everyone's probably picking Pacquiao, but what are your chances that you're giving right now to Algieri? 3-1, 2-1. Beeb, you're the betting man. What do you think?
Algieri will be a 6-1 underdog.
Do you think that's just?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's just because there's a lot of unknowns about Algieri. We've seen him against good fighters, but Manny Pacquiao is still considered close to an elite fighter. And now people say, Beeb, what are you talking about? He's on the decline, blah, 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 blah. But you have to compare him to what's out there. Other than Mayweather at 147, you can look at Keith Thurman, Sean Porter. Again, those guys have potential, but they still haven't, done what Pacquiao has done. And what Pacquiao still showed, quality in the Bradley fight, the second one. I liked what he did in the second half of that fight. That was the first time that I could remember that he's ever adapted. I've seen him always come out strong, win maybe 6 or 7 rounds in a fight, and then especially against Marquez, and then you'll see him kind of, not do well in the second half of the fight. So this is a time where he had to dig down deep and make an adjustment. This is the first time I've actually seen him make an adjustment, and he boxed very well in the fight in the second half. So
647. See, I'm gonna get to some other callers here, brother, but thanks for calling.
No doubt, man.
I'm going to keep it on that topic. Manny Pacquiao versus Chris Algieri is a done deal. Algieri and his co-promoter, Joe DeGuardia of Star Boxing, along with Banner Promotions, Artie Paluto, met for several hours on Tuesdays and hammered out the remaining issues, resulting in an agreement that we'll see Algieri, take his opportunity against Pacquiao for the world title. I just want to say that the reason Paluto is there is because he has options on Algieri. My source told me it was 3. So I'm assuming this fight equals 1. So if this dude beats Pacquiao some way, somehow, this is just hypothetical, but think about, the capital gain for Artie Paluto and Banner Promotions with that one option.
Quick question for you, if you know. What is the purse now? Because I know they were balking at, what was the original offer, 1.5?
Yeah, it was 1.5, and then all of a sudden they said that he was holding out for more money, and then it got sealed like a day or 2 later.
So, well, the terms weren't disclosed, but DeGuardia did say that Algeria will earn a career high payday more than $1 million, but it will be more than 10 times his previous purse, which was only 100,000 for the split decision over Ruslan. So, clearly he'll be making over $1 million.
So he probably took the 1.5 then.
Yeah.
I'm just speculating.
Well, think about it this way: Maidana got 1.5 as well, allegedly on Nevada. According to Nevada, rather, he got 1.5. So Algeria, finally, Bob Arum took a page out of Mayweather's book, and they're they're paying opponents a lot less. Because think about it, opponents usually that fought Pacquiao made more money. Bradley made 5 and 6. Rios made 3. Margarito made like 3.
Well, in their defense, though, they were fighting previously on big networks consistently.
Their names were bigger than I think what Algeria is right now.
Okay, but no one's gotten this low.
I don't think this is bad money though. Going from 100,000 to 1.5, I don't think that's that bad.
Oh well, no, it's a career high payday. It's a dream come true.
Just like when you go on a job interview, what's one of the questions that you're asked? What are you currently making right now? Because if you're currently making a specific salary right now, and they're not going to pay you substantially more than that. They're going to pay you more than that, but not substantially more. So in other words, they're not going to go above what they have to go above, and this is no different.
Yeah, well, I guess you're right. You want to take let's take it back out to the streets here. Let me see. 757, you're live. Who's this? 757, you're live.
Yeah, this is Antonio from VA, man. And let me ask y'all a couple quick questions. Y'all think the surprise me with the guy is on Pacquiao next May if he get past Maidana?
I think it's Cotto. I don't think it's Mayweather. I think it's Cotto.
Allegedly, Floyd Mayweather Sr. told Roy Jones Jr. that it's Pacquiao and May.
Well, he said the same shit on this show, right? Didn't he say that Pacquiao Mayweather will fight?
I'm going to be honest with you. This is the first on our show when we interviewed him, and this is just from me. I've never heard him say that he would fight Pacquiao because he kept saying
don't chase the carrot, man. Don't chase the carrot. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. If it happens, let's just thank the boxing gods. But I don't really we're gonna believe.
Well, this is what I think the plan is.
We're gonna believe in unicorns and fairy dust.
Well, I think there's not much left out there. So this is what I think the plan is. He's got 2 fights left. Fights Pacquiao. And if it's competitive, it's a rematch. If it's not competitive, then he'll fight the winner of Canelo, Cotto in the final fight.
See, I think it's gonna be. I think it would be Cotto next because didn't Mayweather just get his promoter's license in New York too? So I think he's gonna try to fight Cotto in the Garden, snag that middleweight title, then fight Canelo on his last fight out.
I think he got the promoter's license in New York to promote his fighters. I don't think he's going to fight outside of Las Vegas. I think.
Well, wait a minute. According to that Deadspin article and the UNC Live article, the promoter's license was just to legitimize fighter contracts.
I don't think he's ever going to fight outside of Vegas. I don't think he wants to pay the heavy taxes he'd have to pay to fight in New York. I just don't think he wants to do that.
Not to mention MGM gives him $25 million just to fight there, plus a fucking what was he? What did he get? A Bugatti or some shit?
Yeah, he's not going to get the same treatment anywhere else fighting anywhere else. It's ironic though because I suspect they won't give him a promoter's license in Las Vegas because didn't Ellerby say they applied, but he never confirmed that they had it. Yeah. So for whatever reason, and this is just speculation, I don't think that they're going to allow him to get a promoter's license in there anytime soon in the near future. I could be wrong.
I still firmly believe that Pacquiao and Mayweather will never happen. I'm in that camp. I don't think it'll ever happen.
What all the other legitimate professional reporters are alleging is that he doesn't apply in Vegas because it's too scrutinizing, the process.
I guess they go deep into your personal life or whatever. I don't know.
So they dig up a bunch of dirt.
Financials.
Fucking Don King got a promoter license.
Didn't
These guys can't.
Ellerby say that they applied in Las Vegas though? I thought I read that somewhere, and please correct me if I'm wrong.
I couldn't tell you.
I think you said it on your shit, yes.
No. He in all that time that I spoke to Ellerby, he never said anything about it. What he did say is that they had a license in New York and other places, and that they were applying for DC to do exactly that, which was put on a show in DC.
Alright, y'all think they putting Pacquiao in there with Algieri so he can look good?
No, I don't. I think that Marquez probably priced himself out or doesn't want to fight in China. Bradley, he just fought him. No need for a three-peat. And Rios, he already beat him. Ruslan lost to Algieri, and Alvarado got beat by Ruslan. Who's left?
I got you. So we agree Algieri looks like a pretty smart guy. He seemed pretty smart. He go to college. He got a degree. Okay, you think he's seen that Mosley fight? I think he's seen the Mosley-Pacquiao fight. You think he's seen that Bradley-Pacquiao fight, the second one? I think he saw that. So I'm going to go ahead and make my prediction. I think he's going to come out, he's going to circle to the left, and I think he's going to beat Pacquiao. I think he's going to give him a little boxing lesson. I don't think Pacquiao going to win. When this fight was made, the first thing came in my mind, that's a pretty smart fight. I watched him fight Ruslan with Kalashnikov. I said, that guy can box, man. I think he's gonna beat Pacquiao. I think he's gonna circle to his left. He's gonna study the fuck out of him. I think he's gonna box him from the outside. I just think he's gonna win. And I think Mayweather wants Pacquiao next May, and I think he's gonna be like, God damn. I think in November he's gonna be screaming, God damn, this nigga lost again.
Well, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this, Slug. This is a scenario that I could see happening.
It's Antonio.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it Antonio?
Yeah.
Okay, I apologize. This is a scenario I see happening. I can envision seeing a fight similar to what we saw last week, and Pacquiao winning by split decision. I could see something like that where Algieri may put out the volume, and you may see Pacquiao just be the guy trying to bomb away.
Now, I think Pacquiao's head movement's good enough to get on the inside and actually be able to touch up Algieri. While I don't think Algieri's going to be able to he's not going to get blanked in this fight. I don't think it's going to be Pacquiao winning all 12 rounds, but I definitely would probably think that he's going to win about 8 of these rounds, man.
I mean, you could be right, but something in the back of my mind is telling me that this fight might be tougher than people are thinking.
You've seen it in the Bradley fight. You've seen it in the Moses fight. If he can't land the left hand, he really don't use the right hand no more. He was using his prime against the Cotto, Margarito.
He doesn't like chasing guys. He doesn't like guys who are going to move on. He doesn't like guys who are going to give him space. He wants guys to come at him. This guy's not going to come at him. He could get frustrated in this fight. But again, you may have those judges saying, well, this guy's just moving, and where he got the benefit of the doubt in the Provodnikov fight, he may not get the benefit of the doubt in this fight. Albeit, I'll probably lay a small wager on him because he'll at least be a 6-1 underdog, and he's worth a shot.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't imagine that, before the Provodnikov fight, everyone was talking about how Algieri is almost not deserving of that fight because he didn't fight anyone, and we weren't giving him any credit for that. So now he beats Provodnikov, a stark contrast of like an opposite of Pacquiao. So I don't think he's ever seen anything at this level, and Pacquiao is just so much far more advanced than even Provodnikov is. I don't think he's ever seen that speed, and I think the power is going to be very
This is a real interesting fight, though. James, you could be 100% right. I'm not saying you couldn't be.
What did you score the Algieri Provodnikov fight? Because I had it 9 rounds to 3. I didn't even think it was a close fight.
I had it 114-112. I had it 114-112. I had it close.
I'd have to pull my card, but I did have Algieri winning most of those rounds, though. I definitely give him credit for winning that fight.
The two knockdowns made the score closer.
Yeah,
but
that's exactly the only reason why
I had it 114. I had it 114 and 112.
I was just going rounds. I know I just had him winning 9 rounds. I had Ruslan only winning.
You got to use the 10-point must system, so I mean it was 114, 112.
Obviously, not him winning 2 other rounds, but I thought he was easily killing him. I don't know what they were watching. I was like, this guy is beating him pretty easily. the second round on out, I ain't changed my opinion after the first round. Like, man, he about to knock this kid out. The second round, he came out, he was boxing him up. I scored that for Algieri. The third, fourth round, I remember scoring for Algieri. I was like, yo, this Ruslan ain't win a round. They talking like he doing something. I was like, I don't even see him winning no rounds.
See, I had it 114, 112.
That's what I had it.
Yeah, that's why I had 114, 112. Algeria, of course.
Oh, man. I got Algeria. I think he gonna win.
You could be right. I've been wrong before.
What date was that fight?
November 13th, I believe.
November?
That fight's in November.
No, it wasn't. That was the Ruslan Algieri fight. Was like
the
June 15th.
The Pacquiao fight is in the Pacquiao Algieri fight is in November. That's what I thought he asked.
Oh, Ruslan Algieri was in June 15th.
Yeah.
Or on June 15th.
Yeah, the Pacquiao Algieri fight is in November.
I think he's trying to find his card.
Yeah, I am. I don't see his shit.
See, I don't know.
Oh yeah, here it goes. I had it 115, 110.
See, you had what for? Obviously Algieri, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Shit was a
Y'all see Pacquiao on another level. I think he made Ruslan look 2 levels underneath him. You know, after
I picked Provodnikov to win that fight, but I scored the fight for Algieri.
We all did. That was that was the day I decided I wanted to lift the curse, so I was gonna go with the fucking A-side fighter, and the fucking B-side fighter won. That was
and for the longest time, you were talking about how Algieri was gonna give him issues too.
I bet Provodnikov with the knockout proposition, and
for weeks I was saying how Algieri was gonna beat him.
I gave Algieri no shot. I gave him no shot.
I gave him plenty of shot.
And I scored the fight for him too, so I'm a pretty consistent scorer.
All right. Yeah, man, I gave him plenty of shots. I really did, you know.
You did. I didn't see it.
But let me see here. Anybody excited about Roy Jones?
No, fuck no.
Not
Come on.
Really. I'm actually a little nervous for him.
Yo, I'm excited for watching old YouTube videos of Roy Jones. This new Roy Jones, I don't care if I ever see.
He does this? Why do you think he does it? Do you think
money?
Yeah, but you don't think that he makes enough to sustain his life with HBO?
No, I'm sure he's got bills and expenses and a lifestyle that we couldn't imagine.
I don't think he does it for the money because he's not making a lot fighting anymore. I mean, this fight's not even on television, is it?
So what is he doing it for? Honor and glory? There's no fucking way.
I really think he can't let go. I think deep down inside he wants to still be a fighter. I think HBO pays him very well. I don't think he needs to do it.
Give me a James Tony Jones fight at heavyweight. I'm cool with that. Throw that on the fucking undercard.
Listen, strangely enough, I'm hearing Tony is the undercard.
Yeah, that's what I heard a while ago. I thought that they would fight each other in a rematch. I was like, I'm all right with that. To be honest with you, I'd watch that. It's like 2 old men fighting in the park.
Yeah.
Who's Roy Jones fighting? I don't even know.
The dude delivers your mail.
Lativia. Yeah, and James Toney's gonna be on the card. He's gonna be taking on. Let me see. Oh, no opponent. No opponent, but he's gonna be fighting as a heavyweight. Yeah.
2 people that can't let go.
Yeah. They're trying. KP Promotions of Russia is trying to put together, Roy Jones and James Toney as a rematch.
Oh, for real?
But Roy Jones said he had no interest.
I wouldn't hate on that though, man. I like that fight. Just if not for nostalgia reasons. So whatever, fuck that. I like that first fight.
Let's take it out to the streets here. Let's see what we got. 817, you're live. Who's this?
Hey, this is Big John from Texas.
What's going on, Big John?
Nothing much. Yeah, I watched the Rigondeaux fight. I didn't try to watch it live. I just, it was on Unimas, so I just watched it later. But I got a question for you guys, and I saw a video, and it pretty much asked, are we seeing the death of the slick fighter or the pure boxer? When I look at Rigondeaux on HBO, won't even put him on TV, and then you got the Canelo Lara, then you got boxers like Timothy Bradley saying, hey, I had to fight this way because I didn't think I'd get my respect. You know, Floyd said that. Do you think we're seeing the death of the pure boxer?
Not the death, but definitely the crucifixion of him.
Shout out to 78 Fight News. He was the guy that did that video on YouTube, man. That was an awesome video, and I thought he articulated it very well. And I agree with him 110% because I think that we are seeing the death of it. As Ness said, the crucifixion. So the process of killing the slick boxer has started, in my opinion.
Yes.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the networks. But with all due respect, I mean, the fans have spoken. The fans favor the more brawling style over the slick boxing style, and if that's what they favor, that's what they favor. You have to respect everyone's opinion. There's not many people left like Ness, myself, and James who like the boxer, who like the slick boxer. People want to see blood. They want to see action. And I can't criticize them for that. You like what you like, man.
Yeah, and like you said, man, the networks can't be blamed. I mean, look at the backlash that Laura is getting here. This is exactly what's happening. I haven't seen the video. I really want to fucking see it. So someone out there, tweet that shit to me. But, I mean,
YouTube, great channel.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It sucks, man. We're punishing people. We always complain that the ones and twos can't get together and they fight. Then they finally fight. Then we sit here and we bitch and complain about how it wasn't awesomely entertaining. Unfortunately, sometimes we do get this where the boxer fucking outruns the fucking come forward brawler, fucking Canelo. But I mean, I was happy that we saw the two tops of a division, and we were able to see two high-class athletes or two high-class boxers get in there and actually do what we saw. Although it wasn't the most entertaining, I still enjoyed the fights. So, I mean, I guess I haven't seen the video, but what you guys are bringing up, those are all good points, and it really does make sense. We could be potentially seeing the death of the boxer. At least that pugilistic kind of slick boxer, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just look at it because, I mean, I don't even know who to blame. Is it everybody's blame? Because there's guys like, you know, you guys and like me that I still enjoy being a pure boxer. Like, I love a Ruslan or a Gennady Golovkin, but, you know, I do love seeing a guy that can go out there and make people miss, and is a thinker, and I love seeing a chess match. And, you know, I just think it's kind of sad when I'm looking at this new generation and I hear Canelo after the fight say there's no place in that for boxing and he needs to learn how to fight. And I'm looking like that's part of boxing. And then you have De La Hoya back him up, and I just like fear for like the next generation because Canelo's not looking at his game and becoming a more complete fighter. He's saying, hey, what do you call it? That's not fighting. He's not looking and saying, hey, maybe I can work on cutting off the ring more. You know, maybe I could be more aggressive. Maybe I could be a more complete fighter. You know, I'm looking at like just the boxing game as a whole, and I think if you take out the pure boxer, it just hurts boxing. Where are the Roberto Durans or the Chavez seniors who would take a boxer and cut off the ring and really became better fighters because of it? You know, I just think it's just sad that we're just looking at, you know, just the state of the sport. And you got guys just saying, you know what, I'm not comfortable fighting those guys. I just want to fight guys toe-to-toe. You know, I think there's a place for that, but I think there's a place for everybody. And just, you know, when I get to see the powers that be, you know, just completely dismiss that, you know, Rigondeaux is a top 5 fighter in the world pound for pound. And to not even, I mean, to be fighting on Unimas, that's disgraceful for me.
Well, 817, thanks for calling in. We're not even going to follow up on that because that was passion. And that was frustration in that, you know, for anybody out there.
I feel the same way he does.
Go back and listen to what he just said. We all feel that way, believe me. You know, in one way or another.
I got crucified. For 7 days because I feel that way, and I've been consistent feeling that way. I can cite so many times where I would pick the boxer, and even if the boxer I feel loses, I'll tell you he lost. Like, you can go back when Durrell fought Carl Froch. I thought Carl Froch won that fight, but I favor Durrell's style. Same thing with Hopkins-Calzaghe. I favor Hopkins' style, but I scored at the Calzaghe. So it's not like, you know, I am biased towards that style, but as I've said 1,000 times, I hate to sound like a broken record, if you have that style and you know you lose and it's not working in a fight, I will score against you. So it's not like I'm biased to the point where I'm gonna you know, score unjustly. But when I feel it's working, I'm gonna tell you it's working and I'm gonna score accordingly. But I got crucified for a whole week, you know, because I felt a certain way, and it is what it is. I'm a big boy, I can deal with it, but you know, it is. I just feel the same way that guy feels, because no one can at least see it my way. Like, I'm stupid for feeling the way I felt. I'm wrong. That's what people think. So it is what it is.
Introducing the hard-hitting ringside Robbie.
Well, good evening, guys, and that's a fantastic phone call to follow up with. That was, you need to put that in a time capsule. Nobody could have said that any better. Fighters like Guillermo Rigondeaux and Anders Lara are getting ripped off by our sport that we follow and support on a week-by-week basis. And it's really too bad. I like all styles of boxing. If a fighter is good at his style, I enjoy it. And yes, Rigondeaux won his fight, but Lara got ripped off by people that don't understand how a fighter like he fights. As far as upcoming fights are concerned, I'm looking forward to the Brian Jennings Mike Perez fight. I think that's going to be a good fight also. That's not being talked about very much, but I think that's going to be a good fight, and I'm picking Jennings to win that fight. You know, and Tyson Fury is going to take care of his business and continue on with his career, and he'll dispose of Eric Chisora probably in the 7th or 8th round, somewhere around there. You know, so we've got good things to look forward to, but when you see fighters like Rigondeaux and Lara get treated so awful by the sport that they have sacrificed their life for to participate in, it's thoroughly disgusting, and that was an outstanding call that guy just put forth.
Wow. Nobody talk to Robbie. Damn, Robbie, they don't want to talk to you. You hear that?
Yeah, well, hey, maybe I made my points and nobody has to follow up with anything. And I'm going to take the Beeb approach with this Mayweather and Maidana fight, because I think Floyd is going to make so many adjustments. The second fight is going to look like the first fight was supposed to, if you follow Beeb's logic. And I think Floyd he's such a tactician with the way he fights, could look that way, and I hope I'm wrong, just like he was the first time around.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Mayweather's Mayweather, man. He makes those types of adjustments, brother.
Well,
and as far as Pacquiao and Algieri, I'm looking forward to that. I think Manny's going to be faced with a style he's never dealt with in the ring. I've tried to go back in my memory, and I cannot ever remember Manny ever fighting a fighter like this. And I think it's going to present some problems that Manny has not faced. And I don't think the caller that called in earlier is crazy for picking Algieri, because I think that's a distinct possibility. I think Pacquiao will win just like Canelo won, even though, you know, I think it's going to be one of those kind of decisions. But it would not surprise me, because I think Algieri is going to present him some problems he's never faced before.
Well, the big question is, will Pacquiao bring the relentlessness that Provodnikov brought into the ring against Algieri? That's the big question, because he's going to have to bring that relentlessness into the ring that night. And if there's any bit of complacency, or his mind is not on this fighter, if it's wandering somewhere else, if his head is not in the game, then this fight is going to be very interesting. And that's why,
well,
you know, I'm going to favor Pacquiao, obviously, but
I think he's going to take Chris lightly, just because of the fact that Not very many people, even in the boxing business, are aware of who he is. And I could see Manny trying to take a night off, and that's why I think that's why I think Manny's going to be faced with some problems he's never dealt with before.
But the big problem now is going to be, will Algieri be called a runner in this fight, and will the judges look upon his style unfavorably this time around? He got the benefit of that against Provodnikov, but he's fighting Pacquiao now. He's not going to get any benefit of that when you're fighting a Pacquiao. So that's, I mean, I'm not trying to plant the seed for controversy, but the thing is when you fight a guy like Pacquiao or even a Mayweather, they want you to win and win decisively. You can't nick a decision and win against these guys. That's just the way it is.
No.
Yeah, and while they're two different fighters, I definitely think that I think Algieri's fighting style is similar to Timothy Bradley's fighting style in the sense that maybe Algieri's a lot taller. He's able to keep you outside of his range a little bit easier than Tim Bradley can, but they're both slick boxers. That's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to hit, get out, and kind of move with their feet. So, I mean, I think that he's definitely seen this style at least before. I mean, think about even Oscar De La Hoya. In that fight, he just wasn't able to get off and be the boxer that he in past fights he typically was. But I mean, he's seen this style before. I don't think it's that different from anything he's seen before. So, I just think I think it's too big of a step up for Algieri right now, unfortunately. So.
James, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't Algieri faster than Bradley is with his current style? And isn't the speed factor going to give Pacquiao trouble at his since he's a lot older now? I mean, I don't think he's ever dealt with. Yeah, he's dealt with a similar style, but Chris is a lot younger. He's a lot taller, and I think he's faster, and I think he could use that to his advantage. Or am I wrong?
I think Tim Bradley's faster than Chris Algieri is.
Yeah, but in a different type of way. Robbie, I'm gonna get you some.
Athletically, he's a lot more athletic than Algieri. Algieri's just slick, but I don't think he punches faster than Tim Bradley. I think Tim Bradley punches faster than fucking Algieri does.
Maybe, but I don't agree with you guys. I don't think he's seen a style like that. I can't ever say that fucking Algieri fights like De La Hoya. Yeah, they're
boxers. They're boxers that go to the body and the head. That's exactly what Algieri does. He has good combination punching. He goes to the body and the head.
Not the same. Listen, Algieri, the good thing about him is the fact that he's a traditional boxer, but that movement. De La Hoya didn't have that type of movement.
Tim Bradley had that type of movement, though. That's how he fucked up his ankle.
But he didn't have the boxing ability. Because when he did box,
he doesn't have the length. The only thing that's different is the length.
No.
That's different is the length.
I'll tell you one thing. When
Bradley boxed, he had success, but he didn't stick to that. In this last fight, he swore he was going to get a knockout.
Yeah.
He fucking dreamed. He had a revelation, and he thought that shit would come true. That's what happened.
I'll tell you one thing. Bradley's very quick on his feet, and Algieri's quick on his feet too. But Bradley's not the quickest guy with his hands. Pacquiao had quicker hands. Now, Algieri he may have a little bit. This may sound crazy, but his hands may be a little quicker than Bradley's.
Do you think so? Fuck, I can't jump on that.
It's definitely arguable, but he has a very, very quick jab. His jab is very fast. So that may trouble Pacquiao. I'm sorry?
I don't know faster or not. I just know that it's a different style.
He has a quickness to him. Like Bradley's like more of an explosive guy, and
but they're both boxers.
Algieri has a sneaky
boxers. Would we?
But Algieri has a sneaky quickness about him. You know what I'm saying? It's just he's just more subtle with his speed. Bradley's
I get that they're different fighters, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think this is exactly the same, but I think in style sense that this is definitely something that Pacquiao can handle. I guess that's it. Because I think his experience with the Bradley shit, that's gonna be good enough. So.
Well, listen, I don't know. Let's take it back out to the streets. How about that?
Algieri wins 3. Algieri wins 3 rounds. That's what I'm giving him.
You could be right. I'm not gonna say you're wrong. I'm not just.
You're live.
Yo,
It's Phoenix.
What's up, brother? Who's this?
It's a Phoenix number.
Yo, this is Brandon from Phoenix. Yo, man, I kind of with the Algieri Pacquiao thing, man. I think that Algieri poses a good opponent, man. Somebody who's tall and rangy. He's pretty fluid, man. I think that as far as between him and Bradley, you know, I think athletically they might be kind of similar. To just their bodies are built so differently. It's kind of hard to compare with that. You know, Bradley being kind of a short, stocky, and Algieri being tall and lanky like that, man. But real quick on the call about the death of the slick boxer, I kind of disagree, man. I think there's plenty of slick boxers out there still doing their thing. I mean, I just think Laura didn't get a decision in a tight fight. And for the record, I scored it a draw.
Well, you know, I love you, draw guys. And look, you know, there's a misconception. There's a misconception about what I said. I'm not saying that you can't score a fight a draw. I just personally felt that in that fight, it was easy to get to some sort of definitive winner, whether that be Canelo or Lara. But we are trying to stay away from that. We've given that topic 9 hours.
Hey, the people have spoken.
Man, I finally got to watch the fight in HD, and I've listened to all the podcasts, and you know, I just had to get mine in real quick, man.
I'm going to say one final thing about it.
I think he's got a lot of good opposition out there to fight. You know, it's just, can those fights be made? You know, I heard Vic talking about him possibly going over to Europe. You know, and I think that might be a better look for him than just trying to get that one golden boy fight with Santa Cruz, because, you know, if he goes over to Europe, you know, he's got 3 options with Quiggs, Frampton, and Kiko. You know what I'm saying? And if he just goes to Golden Boy, it's kind of just like the Santa Cruz fight or bust.
Well, I mean, the Mares fight is out there. Now. You can make the Mares fight.
What's Mares fighting at now? Is he need like the weight division above?
Yeah, I mean, he's at like 130, but I'm pretty sure they'll make that fight. You also got the Moreno fight, but you're right. I would love him to get a Cinderella story, go to the UK, beat a bunch of dudes, be a draw in the UK where now they want to make fights with him. I would love that.
Because I don't see Mares getting in the ring with him. Now, I mean, come on, because after that last fight he just had, you know, it's going to take Mares a little while to get his brain back together, get his head back on right, to take on challenges like that. And he still got them Johnny Gonzalez ghosts. He got to go fight. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see, man.
Yeah, man. Well, thanks for calling in, brother. Phoenix on the check-in. Right, 240. You're live. Who's this?
What's up, guys? This is Dave, the Gringo. What's up today?
Gringo, what it do? Whoa,
chilling, babe.
Radio
hey,
in the
I
background.
got a question. What's that?
Mute that radio in the background, buddy.
Hold on a sec.
And he dropped. Ramiro, what's up? Ramiro. Okay, maybe you're not Ramiro. 956?
Yo.
It would be.
What the hell?
You would be late to the call you placed. What's up, brother?
Hey, asshole. Am I on?
No, we're actually on conference. I just wanted to see what you wanted to talk about before I put you live. What's up?
Well, I know. I just got in. I heard y'all were talking about Mares. I was going to say a good joke on that shit. And some other crap. I forgot what the hell. Oh, about the Chavez Cotto rumors. I got to follow on that.
Okay, well, we got a few emails and a couple of people who listen to the show with their kids, so, you know, try to keep it down on the curse words. I'm going to bring you in live now, okay?
Okay, all right, no worries.
All right, guys, and we're back. James Beeb, guess who's the fuck on the line? It's Ramiro, Blogger Boxing. What's up, Blogger?
Yo, what's going on, man? I'm just here, just recovering from yesterday, man. Crazy night, so I'm just going to go get a beer just to calm down my stomach. Right, or am I wrong about someone else?
Yeah, we've mentioned it as a possibility.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I honestly understand why people hate Rigo, because he doesn't do, you know, the exciting fights, things like that. But I honestly cannot see anyone beating that guy. That guy is in another world. He's in another level. You can't beat that. The dude is, what, 30? I forgot how old that dude is, but he's been doing this all his life. Mares doesn't want any. Santa Cruz, I'm a Santa Cruz kind of guy, but I don't see Leo fucking getting in there, man. That's a tough fight for him. But the one thing I do want to see, there was already chatter of Tomoki Kameda versus Santa Cruz. That would be freaking insane, and especially because Tomoki just signed with Al Heyman. So we'll see about that one.
But he's got a mandatory he's got to do for the WBO already.
Who does, Leo or Rigo? Who does?
Leo.
Leo does?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was in the WBO. Is it WBC?
No, it's WBO.
It doesn't matter. Okay, stuck anyways. Quick comment. We're gonna say,
Talking to the mic. Hey, Romero, talking to the mic because you sound very bad now.
Sorry. No, I was switching over because I'm driving. I'm headed to the bar. But a quick comment. I got a few text messages about a possible Cotto Chavez. I know that fight probably won't happen, but just imagine that. Maybe Cowboy Stadium, maybe MGM or MSG. That would be freaking nuts. If you do follow Chavez on Instagram, which I suggest you do, he's looking thin. So I get the fat jokes and the weed jokes and all of that, but I don't know. I think after he had his daughter, hopefully he's not in the gym with a real trainer, but that guy just needs to fight, man. Think about it. Chavez versus anyone at 168 is viable. Anyone, Kessler, Froch, GG, which would have happened, but he doesn't want to sign a long-term contract. Anyone at 168. I know Andre Ward just wants that big paycheck from Chavez. I hope he never gives it to him because that would just be a stinker, and it would just be Chavez trying to knock him out because Ward doesn't want to fight him.
Yeah, I don't disagree on anything you just said. I'd take any of those fights. And I feel the same way about Ward.
Yeah, I heard the seniors sat him down and tried talking some sense into Chavez, but it's freaking frustrating, especially like in the sport of boxing. Like, you're never going to see, a big-time football player, basketball player, oh, you know what, I don't want to sign another contract, I don't want to play. Like, it's just sad. Like, the dude, he's always in good fights. They're not boring fights. Something crazy is always going to happen. The Vera fights, the Martinez fight, the Andy Lee fight was pretty good too, but so we'll see, man. Texas is getting hosed with these fights, man. I got word that we're not going to get the September 6th card anymore, so I'm just itching to go somewhere. I'm freaking bored.
Yeah, September, how hot is it in Texas in September?
No, it's still, dude, Texas is insane. We get like 2 weeks of just cold weather. The rest is summer. So right now it's topping like at 100, 103, but it's usually nice. It's like in the 80s and the 90s. It's not bad, but I heard that Leha Batal tried making the fight, but that Broner doesn't want to come back to Texas. Apparently he had a bad experience when he came here. I don't really remember what happened, but
they threw shit at him. They threw sodas and beer cans at him. I wouldn't come back either.
Ness, hold on, Ness, hold on. If you're going to be acting like a clown and you're going to be talking all that smack, if you're going to be doing all of that, you have to back it up. Roy Jones did it. He talked all that smack, but he backed it up. He was one of the greatest fighters.
Shit thrown at you for talking smack.
Not Mr. Loudmouth. You got to back it up. Fighting Gavin Reese, no manches. Like, what are you doing? And then he fought a real fighter in Maidana, and then, hey, I was there, I was halfway there. You were there, and we all saw what happened. If you're going to be like that, you have to be able to back it up, go back to hostile territory, and be able to, hey, you know what? That was just a fluke, and I'm a man, blah, blah, blah. But he's not. He's running back to Cincinnati, and watch him fight a bum. Just watch. He's going to fight some bum.
Well, look, I don't disagree, I guess. Like I said, but at the end of the day, he got attacked. And I understand that he was the provoker in the situation, in your opinion, but he was attacked, so I can see why he wouldn't want to come back.
Yeah.
You got some freaky background noise going on. Thanks for calling in, Romero. I'm going to get to some other callers. It's a pleasure.
All right, peace, man. I missed you yelling at me. Bye.
So he brought up some interesting topics. I mean, let's dibble and dab in a possible Cotto Chavez, assuming that Chavez can make a reasonable 160 pounds. Is that a fight that you think Cotto would take right now? Does he have better options out there?
That's in terms of money. That would be a huge fight for him.
I just don't think Chavez can make 160 though. I think that's the biggest thing.
I think he can make it, but he won't. I think it would definitely hinder him a little bit trying to make it.
If you're Cotto, James, and do you fight Chavez or do you fight Canelo? I mean, I think it's a bigger fight with Canelo.
Yep.
Chavez is not Canelo.
Chavez is in pay-per-view, so
that's really bad.
Canelo's the bigger fight, but will they make that fight? The easier fight to make would be a Chavez fight.
Well, it's just sad that the guy with the legendary name isn't the bigger draw. Robert Ortiz, what's up, brother?
Yo, what's good with it, guys? So I just jumped on, man. To me, dude, the only fight that truly matters in boxing right now is Cotto versus Canelo. I think that's an amazing fight. I think right now I'd probably lean towards Cotto, but it's a bit of a pick'em fight. I really like it. I think Cotto's obviously the more seasoned fighter. He's only looked good under Freddie Roach, but we don't know how good still because, again, Sergio was not 100%. And also Dalvin Rodriguez is just not in the same league. I think it's a huge fight. I think Chavez Jr. is completely done with 160. I just don't see it happening. I think he's on to, the super middleweight division. I think he's going to stay there, not even move up to light heavyweight if he ever fights again. I don't even like talking about him because I like talking about active fighters, not guys who are in contract disputes. But I want to see Canelo Cotto, man. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah,
great fight. That fight.
I would definitely take it, assuming that it got made and assuming I got past the fact that, it's not Laura fighting him.
I didn't actually watch the epilogue, but I was watching the lead in to it, or maybe it was the lead out of the replay from
another time, another place
fight.
For that one. Another time, another place. Another time.
Yeah, no, but just it kind of goes into along with what they're gonna do next, and that's part of what
Remember to rate us 5.
I'm sorry, that was truly an accident. No, I know it doesn't feel like it was an accident, but it truly was.
But Brian Kenny was bringing up a good point on the ending of the show and saying is, were fans excited enough about that fight to want to see Canelo Lara too? Because as far as from a competitive nature, it's unsettled, and they should do it again. And
fans don't want it though. Nobody wants it.
Go ahead.
The fans don't want it, from what I'm hearing. Nobody wants it.
Yeah, see, that's the other side. Is who's going to want to buy it again?
I want it, but the fans don't want it.
I'll be honest. I don't even want it anymore. It is what it is.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it. To be completely fair, I wouldn't mind it. And it wasn't an entertaining fight, but it's unsettled. It's unfinished business, and if they do it again, I'll gladly take it. But I would prefer Cotto fighting either of those two guys. Really, I would much rather take Cotto against either one of those guys at a fucking catch weight, at 160, at 154. I don't care. I'll take it anywhere in that range. I'm good with that, man. That would make for an intriguing fight. For the middleweight title, for not the title, it doesn't matter to me. I think it's a great fight with either of those two facing off against Cotto.
I don't even know why, Cotto's getting on, if he's not fighting Canelo, then no. He needs to fight a 160-pounder. Why is everybody trying to make these 154-pounders fight Cotto?
Well, in fairness, the way I feel about Cotto is you're the man at 160, defend your fucking belt and take on Golovkin. That's truly the way I feel. That's his real only real option that he is obligated to take. He needs to do.
Well,
But
Rob,
I don't think he wants anything to do with Golovkin.
well,
I don't
Rob,
think he takes that fight.
I find that completely amusing, being as though you said the exact opposite.
Well, yeah, you're right. It's only it, right? But I mean, I love those other two fights. As just from the non-title perspective, from just him as a fighter, is what I'm saying. I love those fights. I think those are far more intriguing than the Golovkin fight, which, as a title, because he holds the lineal title, because he holds one of the few actual legitimate, it actually the belts mean something title. Yeah, you should take on fucking Golovkin. That's your responsibility. But I would actually, I think that's like a fucking sacrifice to ring Golovkin. I mean, I think it's almost unfair. I still would be intrigued, but I don't know. Watching Cotto lose that would just be like, fuck, man. I don't know. You know what I mean? But then again, I thought Sergio was gonna slaughter his ass. So you can't fucking really judge until it happens. And fuck it. Any one of those three fights, I'm down for. Cotto against any one of those three.
So did you watch any of this week's fights?
I watched what's his name? Fucking Zhu Shimin. I watched that fight, and I was talking to a friend of mine, and we kind of went back and forth on it because while it was a great fight, it was certainly entertaining. It was definitely competitive. I enjoyed it. I liked it. From the perspective of, it's the same thing that Canelo and Chavez Jr. or the standard they're held to is you guys have fans and you have people behind you. Are you really that good, or is it just because we're going to pay because we like you? At this point, he should be just completely blowing guys out, man, at that level, and he's not. He's getting into wars with them. He has no power. He looked the best in this fight than I've seen him in his pro career. But I still wasn't impressed as far as an elite level. I just don't see him getting there. I see anybody in the top 10 of that division, I see him just kind of destroying him, quite honestly. Did you guys see it?
I saw it, and I saw Zhao get touched up too much for my tasting. But like I said earlier, I don't mind it because I understand that along with having to watch him comes other pretty decent fights. And it's funny to me that you watched that one and not the Valoria fight or the Rigondeaux fight.
I just simply didn't catch it, man. I was out and about, and I was the only one that actually was able to sit down and watch while my girl was getting ready. I couldn't find the Rigondeaux fight, which I was actually down to watch. As much as I shit on him, I was down to watch it, but I couldn't find it, so I didn't see it. That was a Valoria fight. Who won that? I actually have no idea.
Valoria did.
Valoria won by stoppage, right?
Yeah, that was a good fight.
Yeah, but that other kid was doing pretty good, James.
Yeah, that's why I liked it.
He didn't have power, but he was landing a lot of shots that didn't have power. So ultimately, Valoria kept cutting the ring off and landing, big shots.
Yep.
It was a fight. Valoria's so big for that division. Like, he's so wide. Like, he's like Mercito Gesta wide and Bradley wide. He's big, man.
He's so fast.
His opponent was scrawny as hell.
Yeah. Valoria was fast as fuck, though, man. I still love that whole division, man. I think there's a lot of great fighters in it.
Well, how many fights is this with Freddie Roach? Because Freddie Roach was in his corner.
Yeah, I think it's like 4 or 5 at least. At least.
Okay. So, Rob, we got to see all those. Did you catch ESPN, Rob? Because Mayfield Taylor was a pretty decent scrap.
No, I didn't get to, man. Quite frankly, I was kind of stoked to take a little break from boxing because I was just, with the Canelo fight, I was all over everything that week. So it was cool to actually to take a step back for a second. But I actually wanted to ask James what you thought of those Zhao Shimin, whatever, performance. Because, dude, I'm torn between it, man. The dude was taking shots, like you said, but he wasn't getting hurt at all. So I'm almost inclined to believe that he genuinely is trying to put on a show. And I know fighters will say that when they find themselves in a fucking war. but I don't know. He just seemed like he didn't respect the guy's power all that much, so he just said, "Fuck it, let's just go for it." Did you see that, James? Or I don't know, man. You know what I mean?
I actually haven't seen that fight yet. The only fights I watched this weekend was the Guillermo Rigondeaux and the fucking Brian Valoria one.
Did anyone watch Mercita Hesta fight?
I watched the opening of that card. That's about it. I started to watch it. I just never finished it.
Yeah, because
I saw the first 4 rounds. Because
I don't know what to make of him, man. I just think the best. He's the best he's ever going to be right now. And being the way he is right now, I just don't see him winning a title. So it's one of them guys that could just beat the lower level guys, or even maybe the bottom end of the top 15. But I don't see him ever beating a champion. I just don't see it happening.
He just never lived up to expectations.
Never did, He just I don't know what it is. He just seems to not be able to sustain his attack throughout the course of the fight. It seems like he just takes breaks in there, and he'll hurt a guy a little bit, and then he just doesn't know how to finish guys. It's pretty sad because there is some potential there. He can punch a little bit, and he's a good body puncher, and he's got decent speed. But I don't know, man. He just doesn't. It seems to lack just lack the sophistication of the sport. Just pretty one-dimensional, one-speed type guy. Doesn't know how to vary things up at all. And I don't know. I just don't think he's going to be a champion. That sounds pretty harsh, but just in my opinion.
I just wanted to...
Because that's actually where I'm at. You said it exactly the way I was thinking, Beav. Like, I just don't see the elite level. I think he could put on some entertaining fights and everything, and he could make some bigger level matchups over there in China as far as, making the people get interested over there, but I don't think I could see him beating him. He's going to be one of those, like a Gotti type, where although I'm not going to compare him to as much as you love Gotti, but he will do some good stuff. Even like Dalvin Rodriguez, maybe. That's probably a better comparison, where you'll do great against the lower level and not quite beat the elite level. Maybe you'll get one win in there. Never get a title, though.
Well, I got some interesting quotes on Rigondeaux and his team. They are going to weigh out their options to see where they go forward, said Rigondeaux's manager, Gary Hyde. We know that he has also a co-promotion with Caribe Promotions. He went on to say that HBO has their favorites, and unfortunately Rigondeaux isn't one of them. Hyde said in frustration. They like to make reference to the Abeko fight. My attorney, Patrick English, asked numerous times to choose another opponent because we knew Abeko wasn't right. Both Top Rank and HBO ignored us, and we saw what happened. As soon as Abeko felt Rigo's power, he just didn't want to throw. If the viewing numbers were the worst in history of HBO, we will not accept the blame for this. Rigo is a fighter. He fights. I am the manager. Both Top Rank and HBO absolutely did nothing to promote and advertise the show. On the same night, not far away, Golden Boy promoted a top-level show which took a share of the viewers and spectators. It's a shame, and it's the reality of the network which shun away a fighter such as Rigondeaux. So that's all from his
I don't know.
Gary Hyde.
I mean, that's a great quote and all, man. But it really says a lot about Rigondeaux, because that was the same night that Kirkland fought against Tapia, and you could see the audience just in the arena. As soon as that fight was over, it emptied out, and you saw just Bob and Vic just chilling by themselves inside the arena, and that was it. And people tuned over to the other card, man. But that Kirkland fight, I was watching it. A lot of people were watching it. And Rigondeaux, he's got to step on the gas a little bit, I think, at least just to get people to focus on him. We already respect him, and now we got to like him too,
Well, Hyde had some interesting words for HBO. He said, "You will regret how you have closed the door on a fighter that you fattened up for Donaire. Instead of appreciating him publicly, you insult him. And his problem is that he is too good. Rigo is the perfect example to every boxer in the world, to every coach. Hit without being hit. It's the sweet science. Okay, that must have been a strong one for you guys. It kept you silent.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, people aren't going to change their opinions, and I think the direction of the sport is pretty much going the other way, and I think the sweet science is no longer the sweet science.
Well, again, the guy says what fight fans should back him for. And I quote, "We want Rigo to be undisputed champion, but it's difficult because the IBF Kiko Martinez and WBC champions Leo Santa Cruz are scared to fight him." Like they're putting it out there. They're leaving it up to these guys to shut him up. And the difference between him and Laura, because Laura did the same, and then a lot of you guys scored it for Canelo, and that's okay. But he called out Donaire, and he handled Donaire very well. So, give him what he wants. They go on to say that Abner Mars and Santa Cruz are on our hit list. Hopefully now that we are free agents, we can make these fights. This is the best one of them all. When asked about Vasily Lomachenko, Top Rank would not risk losing another golden boy to me, Rigondeaux said. I love it.
That makes sense. That's exactly how I feel. That's exactly probably what would happen.
He'll never fight Lomachenko will never fight him. Never.
I think down the future they might, but not right now. No.
He won't fight him till Rigondeaux's 40.
So what do you guys think about the fact that Algieri just signed to make this fight, but he's already saying, like, logically Mayweather is next? Is that confidence? I didn't read the story. Could it be just they put the right headline out? Did anybody catch that story?
Did not catch that story, but it just seems like he's trying to use Mayweather to hype this fight up a little bit.
No, but if you get past Pacquiao, of course you're going to want Mayweather next. So, yeah, I just think it's...
But is that a reality, though? Will Mayweather want him?
I don't see why not. I mean, I think Mayweather think that he could obviously beat him, so he's going to... He likes to pick his opponents. We know he does. So I think that he could have... If it came down to something like that, to be real, I think that he would beat Algieri pretty easily, so... I see if Algieri is able to get past Pacquiao, I definitely see that fight being a viable option.
And did you guys hear about this Anthony Corolla versus Lundy? Like, why is Lundy willing to fight Anthony Corolla?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, he has the Beltran fight, and I know he lost, but after that, didn't he get a win? Then he got the win over Edgar Santana. I mean, not Edgar Santana, Francisco Santana, I think his name was, and now he had another off-television win. Like, I just don't get the Corolla fight. Like, that's really not gonna do nothing.
Yeah, it's just tough for Hank Lundy because he wants the big fights, but. He lost a pivotal fight to Beltran, and if he won that fight, he probably would have got a big fight. So I guess this is just part of the rebuilding process because no one really has to fight him.
Well, Gallagher, which is Corolla's trainer, said he doesn't know why Hank Lundy is putting out that he's fighting Anthony Corolla unless someone's going to give Anthony fortunes of money to fight him. What is the reward for him in that?
That's what I'm saying.
I think it's the other way around. I think that Corolla gets more validity out of a win over Lundy than Lundy does over Corolla.
Well, a lot of people still have their doubts about Lundy, and I think until Lundy, Lundy had some upside to him. He beat some decent guys. He beat David Diaz. He beat a Josie, but he needed to keep going in that direction, and then he lose to a guy like Beltran with all due respect to Beltran in a fight that many people thought he was going to win. That was supposed to be a fight, a showcase fight for him, with all due respect to Beltran, and it wasn't. and it was a fight that, he.
No, I got to stop you there. No one is going to agree with you that Beltran was a showcase fight for
Well,
London.
that was before the Ricky Burns fight, and Beltran really was looked at as a trial horse, and then he beats Lundy.
No, because we just seen him beat Ronnie Rios on Showbox and get robbed. Most people scored that for Beltran.
Yeah, I'm just giving you my opinion of the public perception, because at that particular time, it was considered an upset that Beltran won. He was like a 3-1 underdog. So that was a fight that really hurt Lundy and made him have to start over. If he won that fight, he would have been very close to a title shot, in my opinion. But
the fact of the matter is that I believe the majority of the UK would agree that Corolla's a domestic level fighter, and this would be a step up for him, not Lundy.
I see it that way, and I think that most of us will see it that way, but I'm not so sure the UK people will see it that way.
I guess, man. I don't know. James, any thoughts on that?
No, man, I could completely agree with you guys. I'm just not that high on Lundy. He's in that weird area where I think he wants to move up to 140, but I don't know. Is he fighting Corolla at 140?
The weight they didn't. Well, it's farce. According to the trainer of Corolla, there's never been any talks about that.
I don't know. That guy against anyone's kind of exciting. He's not the worst fighter in the whole world, so yeah.
I mean, would you guys accept Lundy versus Crawford coming off the Gamboa win? Is that too much of a not big enough name for Crawford?
I don't know, but I thought the rumor right now is that Beltran's gonna get that title shot.
Really?
That's what I heard. I forgot where I heard it though. I could be making shit up, but I'm not.
I don't know. Let's see what the streets got to say. 281, you're live on the Boxer Voice. Who's this?
What it do? It's the #1 gunner. That's Knuckles. What's up?
What's up?
Man, I mean, it's a lot of things happening in boxing. Of course, politics is doing what it does, what it always does. I hear what you guys are talking about. I didn't have a problem with what Guillermo Rigondeaux did in his last fight. I thought he took advantage of the situation. We all know it's protect yourself at all times. Dude didn't really look like he wanted to fight. He suffered from a little accidental headbutt, but it's boxing, and these are the things that take place in a fight. Headbutts happen. Fouls happen. You still got to have your mind right and get back to the task at hand, which is to dismantle your opponent. And the only one that had that mind frame is Rigondeaux. And, of course, we've been seeing him being frozen out of all the big fights. In the biggest fight of his career, his own promoter was shitting on him, which we all know. And it's unfortunate. I also think Canelo and Cotto would be a great fight. I don't want to see Cotto versus Bradley. I think that is a mismatch. I think if Cotto is not going to fight anybody at that weight.
Aren't they saying that that's almost a done deal, though? I kind of forgot when we were talking Cotto and all the. I think that might be a done deal, this Cotto Bradley shit.
Bradley?
Done deal? I heard those rumors, but you think it's. Where did you read that was done?
Man, I'm going to have to go back. I'm not sure. Listen, don't take it, don't quote me on it. Look for it. I thought I read that.
I heard they were close to it. I heard they were really pushing for it. I think Bob really wants it. But I don't know if it's...
We don't have nothing else. Bob Arum is running out of options as far as making a marquee fight for Cotto in a fight that he feels confident that Cotto is going to win. Especially at that weight. He's not going to put him in there with Triple G. Triple G has never even been the B-side of any pay-per-view. Bradley has been the B-side of several pay-per-views. Not saying he's his high-profile opponent, but at the highest level of boxing, he has been the B-side. So why not make him the B-side for another pay-per-view attraction in Miguel Cotto off of one of the biggest wins of Miguel Cotto's career? So business-wise, it makes sense, but in terms of boxing, does it really make sense? He's never fought at 54. He's never fought at 60. I mean, how big of a threat can he possibly be at those weights? I don't know which weight they're supposed to be fighting at.
It's a big jump.
Hey, still.
Yeah, it's a big jump. I heard it was going to be a 155 catch weight, Well, let me ask you this.
And it's a featherweight. Get the hell out of here, man.
Well, Cotto fought at 155 in the last one, so I mean, I don't think he'll complain about it. But let me ask you this: do you think that this is just smoke that Arum will work with Oscar De La Hoya again? Because why wouldn't they go right for a Canelo fight? Do you think that Bob really wants to still do these in-house fights as opposed to working with other guys like De La Hoya?
If Bob can make money primarily off of a top-ranked promoted fight, even if Bob allows another promotional outfit to co-promote, if Bob is not making the bulk of the money of the event, he's unhappy with it. I mean, this is old school promoting. Don King did it for years. A whole in-house Don King fight, it'd be a pay-per-view with like 7 championship fights on it. Beeb, you got history. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I don't really knock Bob for doing all this old school shit. Golden Boy's new guys, they haven't really tapped into this type of promoting. They're really trying to change boxing, so to speak, if you really take what they say at these pressers seriously. But if Bob can make all the money off a fight, he's gonna do it. Just like if Don, was doing it back like he was back in the game, he would do it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
The so-called Cold War being ended is bullshit until we see somebody who Bob has a vested interest in doing business with Golden Boy. Yeah, the featherweight guy who just fought Gary Russell. Goddamn. Lomachenko. The dude he don't even have 5 fights. So how much faith has Bob invested into this guy? Not much. So Bob wasn't really losing anything if he ended up losing that fight to Gary Russell. So yeah, he let it go to a purse bid, to which Golden Boy outbidded him. Of course he outbidded him. Bob had nothing to gain from that fight. What market has Lomachenko tapped into in the United States? What state or what city inside the United States can you say that Lomachenko just fills the house? Not one. So how much money was Bob Arum really going to make off of a fight with Gary Russell and Lomachenko? Not much. So he wasn't losing anything. Now, let it have been a Miguel Cotto or a Manny Pacquiao or somebody who he really gets the bulk of his money off of. You're not going to see Bob Arum being outbidded by anyone if it was to go to purse bid. I mean, my thing is this. The Pacquiao Mayweather could have went to purse bid. But, when you got 2 pay-per-view fighters, that shit ain't going to no purse bid. For pay-per-view attractions, it'll never happen. That's like saying Oscar De La Hoya fight going to purse bid back in the thing. It would never happen. So, like I said before, the Cold War is not ended yet. It's still a lot of politics going on in boxing. We'll just have to see. But you know what? A Cotto versus Canelo fight would give us hardcore boxing fans the green light as to say that the Cold War is over with. Until then, I'm not buying it.
Excellent. Good points.
I'm gonna place you on hold, and thanks for calling in.
No doubt.
All right. Hey, man, I just want to go back to the Cotto and his options. There is a bunch of quotes by Freddie Roach on an article done by Michael Woods of the Sweet Science, New York reporter, very good guy, so you guys should follow him definitely. But it's looking like they've always wanted Canelo and they want him right now. But Roach, I want to find this exact quote because it was interesting. He basically called Canelo green, and he said that Bradley's too little, but those are the options, including Laura. Mind you, at the time of this interview, he hadn't watched the fight but heard that Laura lost, but still called him a very skilled boxer.
I think Laura's the toughest fighter of the 3, but I mean, I think the Canelo fight makes the most sense to me personally, but that's the one I want to see the most.
So one of the quotes, Gabby, which is Gabby Penagraciano, which is Cotto's manager, lawyer. So Roach goes on to say, Gabby asked me who I wanted before Canelo fought Laura, and I said I wanted Canelo for Cotto. Canelo is still my number 1 choice. He's still the biggest on pay-per-view. I want him for Cotto because Cotto is up in years a bit, and I want to make the most money for himself at this point. But Canelo might need one more fight or maybe two to learn a bit more. He's a good fighter, but he's still very green. He still has a lot to learn.
I think that's very true. I mean, I think that he progressed a lot more in the fight with Trout when we didn't think he had that much head movement. We thought he lacked in defense. He kind of came out, but he hasn't really improved as much from Mayweather. Then he fought Angulo. We didn't see much in that because Angulo was a spent fighter in that fight. He just kept coming forward and was basically a punching bag. And in this fight, they proved that he still hasn't learned how to cut off the ring, do certain things just exceptionally well. So
the one thing
I mean, I'm not going to say that I think he's green. I just think that he just might not ever learn some of these things because he just doesn't have the training staff around him to kind of teach him this shit.
Well,
I think right now fighting. I think if you fought Canelo right now and you were Cotto, I think you need to catch him now before in the future. If he changes trainers or he just kind of changes a few things in his fighting game, that's a lot more dangerous of a fight. Because I still think that he's not peaking right now. I don't think he's at his prime.
Well, let me mention a few things that I want to bring up because I watched the epilogue last night, and they said a couple things in the corner to him that I found very, very bizarre. They said, fight with your balls and go out there and throw bombs. And I was just listening to that, and, he didn't throw, he threw, I think 100-something jabs or whatever, according to the CompuBox, which I don't say is gospel. And I guess he landed like 8 of them. So until he, commits to the jab more to help set up his punches instead of go out there and fight with your balls and just throw bombs, number one. And number two, he himself got hit with an awful lot of jabs against Lara, and that's a punch that Cotto is very, very skilled at throwing. So that's one feather in Cotto's cap that I would say leaning towards Cotto in this fight because of the jab, and that's a punch that Canelo just seems to get hit with. He got hit with a lot of jabs against Trout, against Lara, and I think he'd get hit with a lot of jabs against Cotto as well. And then I think Cotto having the ability to hook off that jab with power left hooks would be a very dangerous fight for Canelo. So in that aspect, I would have to say he's green, because if you're going out there and telling your fighter, fight with your balls and go out there and throw bombs, then how much better can you get fighting off of that advice, is what I'm saying. That's just my opinion. And I'm not hating, I'm just giving my own opinion.
If they fight next, though, I think Cotto wins that shit easily. I think he knocks out Canelo.
I would pick Cotto. I would pick Cotto, too. And the odd thing about it is it would probably be close. Cotto would probably be a 2-1 favorite. So, I mean, it would be worth putting the money on Cotto, because you'd have to put up 200 to make 100, but it's not really that bad.
The final quote that I want to say is Freddie Roach was asked, of course, about the next fight being at 160, or are they going to do a catch weight? And, of course, facing Gennady Golovkin. And his quote is, "They say he's a great fighter, but I've never seen him fight. How great could he be? He's a very nice man, a good puncher, I guess. I've heard good things about him, but until he fights an A-level fighter, we can't know for sure." So the facts are HBO signed him to a 6-fight deal. So they're going to wait to see if the dust is going to settle, and they'll see who's available. So, yeah, man, I don't know. Miguel Cotto, he brought his career back. That is awesome. Let's do the roll call really quick. We haven't done that in a while. Adolf Mayweather. You're always on top. I wonder if this is alphabetical. Yes, it probably is, because Ari is next. Ari Gold. Hey, Ari. I've heard all the wonderful things you had to say about me. Thanks, bro. Beast Mode. Be Rich. Cote. Dice Reeds. Ephraim for president. Gabriel Marrero. Giving Quality. And a couple guests here. Actually, a lot of guests. And now we have some more. Host Slayer Dwyer. James Grills. Jaspanchi. Juggernaut. Cam UK. Trader. Cam Star. Nothing for Something. the one, Wrath Full of Boxing, Zed. And that's it. I guess that's pretty much it. And pretty much it. Unless you guys got anything you want to add, I guess we can talk on some upcoming fights. Actually, I do want to talk about this Roberto Garcia, man. Remember, this guy had made the move down from 154 to 147. He's been on ESPN about 3 straight times, and he's
This is the guy that fought Margarito, right?
yeah.
Okay.
And he's been winning on ESPN, and he's going to be fighting British Prescott. So that's a pretty decent fight to see. You know, I mean, clearly Roberto Garcia is a bigger man, but just to see where Prescott is at, to continue to see how good Crawford is. Caleb Truex is also going to be on the undercard in a pretty decent fight. This is a good where are you at fight. He's going to be fighting Derek Ennis. Of course, it's low level where are you at, but it's still a where are you at type of fight. Unfortunately, it's an 8-round bout. We're going to have Mike Lee. This is probably James' favorite fighter because he's Irish. He's going to be taking on Paul Gonçalves in a light heavyweight bout. It's only a 6-round. I mean, it feels like Mike Lee's been fighting fucking 4-rounders forever.
Yeah, and for the record, I hate Mike Lee. I think that dude's a douche, man.
Okay, well, there you go. Looks like on Showbox at the Turnstone Casino, Mike Tyson will be back because Antoine Douglas is going to be on that card versus Michael Soro. And Jerry Odom will be facing Villier Quinones and Cecil McCall versus Oscar Godoy. And Tony Lewis from Canada, Jose's boy, is going to be fighting Wenzel Ellison. Also on Fox Deportes on July 25th, Friday night. Set your DVRs. Frankie Gomez is back, the pit bull. I'm saying it like he's that exciting, but once upon a time he was. He never got tested. He was supposed to fight Chop Chop Corley, pulled out. Now he's going to be fighting Vernon Paris. I don't know what Vernon Paris has been doing. I'm actually going to look it up right now. But the last time we seen him on TV, he fucking, like, didn't he give up to Tim Coleman? No, he beat Tim Coleman, right? Who was his last loss where he looked very horrible?
His last loss was Zab Judah.
Yeah, he looked bad in that loss. But he picked up some wins versus Guy Packer, who was only 4-38-2. Then he fought Manuel Perez, which was 19-8-1, and he's getting in there with Gomez. And you know, Gomez doesn't have this big shit record to talk of either, but at least he's fought 17 times. But he has also been very inactive. He only fought 1 time so far in 2014, and in 2013 he only fought twice, which is okay for guys that we see on HBO and Showtime, but for a prospect, this is not okay. He was always raw. I'm not sure if he's still with Freddie Roach. Do you guys remember? Do you know?
I don't think he is, but this is a good gatekeeper fight, man. I'm cool with this fight.
Well, it's actually more of a prospect step-up fight than a gatekeeper, but I guess you can call Vernon Paris a gatekeeper at this point, even though that's kind of low to drop him after just 2 losses or 1 loss. But also Ivan Morales. I think this might be the brother of Eric Morales. He'll be fighting Sergio Frias. And on Telemundo, we're going to get David Carmona versus Martin Casillas, junior bantamweights. That's just too little for me. But over on Showtime, July 26th on HBO in New York at the MGM, Madison Square Garden, the big arena, Gennady Golovkin will be making his debut into that side. Usually, you know, that comes owned by Miguel Cotto. He's going to be taking on Daniel Geale. It's not Thursday, so we're not making any picks, and you should know everyone on that undercard. Somehow, Olabi is gonna be on that undercard as well, which is weird. And Glenn Tapia is back in action in an 8-rounder. Dusty Harrison also on that card. He's gonna be facing Wilfredo Acuna, but it's an 8-round. Well, I don't know what's up with Dusty, man. I like him, but I don't know. Over in Phoenix, you're going to get a lot of fights. You're going to these, James? Benavidez Jr., Oscar Valdez?
Sure am. It's gonna be a good fight, man. It's gonna be a good card, man. Be sure to set your fucking DVR to that Unimas card. It's a good one. That's an Iron Boy. That's Iron Boy promoted too.
Yeah, I'm happy that I got Unimas. Robert Stieglitz is also back in action, and we already told you about Roy Jones and James Toney. It's going to be a big-ass weekend of boxing over in Germany. Like I said, Stieglitz over in UK. We already discussed Fury Chisora in an eliminator for a European title and vacant British title. You know, in Arizona, you got Trevor Macumbi, Joey Ruales, Oscar Valdez, Jose Benavidez. I mean, HBO. It's action-packed. But I am your host. You can find me at NesGTO on Twitter, or email me at theboxingvoice@yahoo.com for any, I guess, opinions on sporadic shows. I want to do more. I was thinking doing a show every time they air in All Access or 24/7, or
excellent idea.
Even a 2 days, like just immediate reaction right after it airs when it's the most freshest in our mind and we're most passionate about it. But I am your host, NesGTO, joined alongside my most favorite amateurs, you know, because we're amateurs now. Jesus. Yeah. Joe Habib. You can find him on Twitter at
JHabib1, man. And I'm still, if you want a title shot at me now, it's got to be an amateur title, apparently, according to some.
And no headgear. No headgear.
Co-host here, Jameson. You can find him at
Jameson Rocket.
And we'll be back Thursday night with our picks as always. And thanks everybody for tuning in. Thank you everybody that continues to support and buy shirts and just believe in our movement. Thank you for the views on YouTube. So make sure you like and share those videos, and also like our fan book page on Facebook. And of course, visit our affiliate links. Help the Boxing Voice continue to grow. We're doing what we could. As you see, we got excellent coverage for this Mayweather-Maidana press conference. We were in New York. We were in Las Vegas. Unfortunately, I'll be honest with you guys, our Washington, D.C. and San Antonio guys were there but got nothing for us to put up. But, technical difficulties on those occasions. But as you can see, we're doing our best. We are your voice, so continue to, let us know what you want these fighters asked. And we're going to get those questions for you. Voice of the people, baby. See you guys Thursday.
Mr. Gibbs, keep asking them tough questions that other people won't.
Thank you for using Blog Talk